going on, everybody? New mini-series here that we're getting ready to start that somebody had a little idea for. So what the hell are we going to do here?
Well, we got a reply to a comment, and it got my brain, rolling. So this guy commented Novus on our GameCube shorts when we did this, guys.
Okay.
If you guys haven't seen that, we upgraded this guy. He said GameCube's the GOAT, and then his reply was, I'd love to see you guys make a video like GameCube games we still come back to, or even GameCube games tier list. And I got me thinking, man, 10 GameCube games that we still play in 2022, maybe in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we were like, mate, we could do that with every console we have in the game room.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun, because it's not just like our top 10 or like our fit. These are just games we play right now.
Yeah, like if we're walking in, because our collection's ever evolving, right?
Yeah.
That's what's really tough, I think, when you're, on this platform is doing top 10s. Those can change. I mean, if we did a top 10 NES today, I know mine would be different than when we filmed it. Probably same thing with any of these consoles. So we sat down and we put our heads together. And the fun thing is we're going to time ourselves. You're going to get a quick hitter on every one of these games, roughly a minute. We're going to try cramming it into 10 minutes of footage. But in 2022, if we walk in and say, hey, dude, do you want to play GameCube? What the hell are we grabbing? And maybe there will be some games in here that you're like, holy shit, I've never played that. However you have to play them, that's fine. There's a huge modding community for the GameCube, or maybe you have a huge physical collection, but hopefully we can give you some nugs. If I'm looking to play some GameCube and I walk into the game room, one game really stands out, and there's several, but Mario Strikers.
Mario Strikers is one of my favorite GameCube games ever. It's arcade sports. I hate soccer, but I love Strikers. I know there's a Wii one and a Switch one. The Switch one's really good, but the GameCube one, man, I have such huge nostalgia for it. I played it when I was a kid, and this game is just so perfect.
The original is still the cream of the crop. It's still the gabagool. It is so good, not a lot of depth. But you only have one main character. That's what I really like about the game. Then you got these little minions that are your other side characters. And the head-to-head battle in this game is so much fun. It delivers every time. And as I get older, I do appreciate games like this more and more because I don't have to spend 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours to beat a game. I can just get in, get my fix, and have my GameCube time, and then be done with it.
It's such a blast. You'll be screaming. So much fun.
F-Zero GX. The last F-Zero game. The game is gorgeous. The GameCube version just looks amazing today. If it got a direct Switch port, I think people would be like, oh, wow. This game looks so good. The graphics. Ugh.
This game is beautiful. I love it. So fast-paced. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of great racers on the GameCube. Double Dash comes to mind. But F-Zero GX is such an awesome game. The soundtrack's amazing. The gameplay's amazing.
It's just one of those things that makes you appreciate what the GameCube had under the hood and what it could pull off. The fact that the game still looks so great. It is getting a little pricey. We're lucky that we've just had it for a long time.
I wish they would make more F-Zero games, but this game is so perfect that they left it on a high note, so it feels great. I go back to this game all the time.
That's one when I go in there and I'm just going through the GameCube games and I'm like, yep. And again, it's one you can get in and get out of pretty quick. So that does have a lot of value. Amazing game. I'll never get sick of it. I'll probably play it well beyond my life. I'll play it in heaven. Here's a dumb one. Holy cow. Beach Spikers Volleyball. Like, I want to go play it right now. Like, I literally feel like we might play it after we're done filming this episode.
This game is ridiculous. This is another game where I'm not a fan of volleyball, but I love Beach Spikers Volleyball. It's an awesome arcade sports game, especially when you're doing multiplayer.
Co-op, though, is where you really need to play this game. Yeah, the camera angles are a little wonky, but if you sit down with a buddy and you are going for like an undefeated run towards like the championship in this game, you're gonna have so much fun. You have to work together. It really is one of those easy to learn, difficult to master type of arcade sports games. You're gonna think you're really good in the first few matches, but the difficulty just ramps up, and then eventually towards the end of the championship, the irony is you face yourself and things get really hard.
My favorite part of the whole game, this is so stupid, but once you get done, it just ends and it goes, thank you for playing. It's so funny.
I'm really surprised this game hasn't been like a cult classic and really went up like in value. I think it's still like a $20-ish game, and it's one that I think everybody should own.
And another thing about Beach Spikers, when you peak spike someone, oh dude, you feel jacked. Like, it's so, I mean, it's a little tough to do, especially when you're going through the ranks and you're fighting the harder teams, but if you can get that perfect spike, you feel like the king of the world.
Beach Spikers Volleyball is absolute fire.
Luigi's Mansion, a launch title for the Nintendo GameCube.
The atypical release where you're Luigi. He's the protagonist. You're not Mario. You're the brother. And you're sucking up ghosts with the Poltergeist 2000, 3000, 4000. I can't remember the number on it, but very unique game. And I think this is the best in the series. I do like Dark Moon on the 3DS, and I like the new one, but there's something about the charm of the first one that to me is unmatched.
Every October I'm always in the mood to play some Luigi's Mansion. It's not too spooky, but it's just the right amount of charm. You can kind of beat it in a couple sittings, you know, which is nice. Kind of short but a little bit longer. This game is just awesome.
If I were to buy a GameCube in 2022 and like there was a short list of games that I wanted to not only play but wanted to have in my collection, Luigi's Mansion definitely is high on that list.
NHL hits. Here we go. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know this had to be on our list.
Doesn't matter if it's 02 or 03. I tend to lean, I think, ever so slightly towards 02 versus 03, but it just could be because it was the first one that I really got into. But I love these games.
Arcade hockey at its finest, just hitting people. I love how when you hit people enough, then you go into fights and you fight people. Oh, and in case you guys forgot, we are multi-Stanley Cup champions. Colorado Avalanche represent. NHL hits, hands down. It's amazing.
You just cannot put the game down. You can lose a whole evening, a whole weekend. But again, the in and out component of this game is really what I love. You can start a cup, save your progress, and then, you know, come back to it whenever you have time. It isn't like some of these games that are coming out today. It's cool. 150-hour beat. Just let me play my GameCube in 2022. I'll play little hits and I'll be good.
Beautiful Joe. This game is the perfect blend of video games and comic books.
I love the cel-shaded art style. It's just a fun one. I remember I was on the road not all that long ago. We went and stayed with Mega Dan 29 and we brought our GameCube, and I was up before him and Robert, and I was playing Beautiful Joe. It doesn't take me too long if I'm looking through my games of what I'm going to play that Beautiful Joe's going to get thrown in there. I like that game a lot.
I love the platforming. I love like the sound. I love the control. This game is just beautiful. I haven't really played that much of the second one, but the first one is just so good, and I love the story.
It is on some other consoles. A lot of these are on other consoles. They're not console exclusives. Some of them are, some of them aren't. But Beautiful Joe isn't. But I think it originally was. I don't remember. But nonetheless, I love the game, and I think you would like it a lot too. Metal Gear, my favorite franchise of all time. Well, maybe Punch-Out, but Metal Gear's really close. And Metal Gear Solid 1 is an amazing game. And it doesn't take you too long on PS1 to play the game and get back into it. But initially when you put it in, you're kind of like, ugh, his face looks like it's made out of a ball of clay.
I love the way that they redid this. It's the same game, but in the style of 2. So that's very unique, and I think this is exclusive to the GameCube.
And there's some people that don't like it as much because they took some liberties, did a couple different things with maybe some voice acting and story dialogue and stuff, but get past all that.
Man, if you haven't played Metal Gear Solid, highly recommend this, because then you don't have to get through that awkward phase of being like, this looks a little rough.
Mario Sunshine. Why don't we like Mario Sunshine? I don't know why it gets some of the criticism it gets, and I think a lot of people are all about Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy, and I don't want to start a controversy here in the comment section, but if you play Mario 64 like today, like you play it right now, and then you shift over to Mario Sunshine, the leap in technical prowess of the game is remarkable, and I think it's a beautiful game.
And especially if you come off the heels of playing Mario 64, this game is a breath of fresh air, because I hate Mario 64. Mario Sunshine, it's a blast. You freaking jump with the water. I love it. I don't get why people shit on it so much. It's so unique. The music's really good.
I like the difference, and I like how Mario has evolved over time and able to do different things, and it's not just a boxed-in franchise. This is always what you're going to get. I think it's beautiful. Beautiful game. I like how the world interacts. I like being able to tightrope on things. Kill me. I like Mario Sunshine.
Time Splitters. Future Perfect. This game is so much fun.
This era of first-person shooters, I think a lot of people, their mind gravitates towards Xbox. Because, I mean, let's be honest, with Halo, Xbox probably did it the best. They changed the game. But there's some really fun games on GameCube that are just fun pick up and play if you're just around a group of people. I think back to the 2021 Missouri Game Convention. We were playing with Retro Wolf 88. He had brought his GameCube. And before too long, we're playing Time Splitters Future Perfect, and the rest of the world disappeared. It's like... Tractor beam, suck me right in.
This game reminds me a lot of like Red Faction and Nightfire and all those first-person multiplayer games, and this game is just right up there. So much fun to get some buddies, have some Miller High Life, sit around and play some Time Splitters.
Really fun game if you like the Time Splitter series. It's kind of an evolution in a way of kind of the way the GoldenEye games and Perfect Dark games play. You know, I can't necessarily say that Future Perfect is better or worse than the first and second game in the franchise, but I just like it. I like it a lot. I like the way it plays. I love the multiplayer. I think is where the game really thrives. It's one that's, again, I think it's important when, maybe you guys don't feel this way, but when you get our age and you run the YouTube channel, you got to be able to get in and get out of a game and still have a great time. It's pick up and play. It's a lot of fun.
The last game on our list, Serious Sam Next Encounter. This game is so ridiculous. First-person shooter, over the top.
What a fun, just weird-ass game. It's a first-person shooter, but it does not take itself serious, which is the irony. And it's got awesome multiplayer, awesome single-player.
It's a blast. Every time you pick up a different gun, you're just like, oh, dude, look at this. There's like chainsaws, multi-gun. This game is so much fun. It reminds me of kind of a first-person Smash TV style game. You know, Smash TV is like top-down. This is like first-person.
Just chaotic. You're just running around. Don't stop. Do not stop or you're going to get hit. You just want to kind of just round your way through the maps, just taking out all these enemies, and just a joy to play. It's another game it's more mission-based, so it's not like a continuum of a story, if you will. You're just doing missions. Or hey, I'm just going to sit down, got home from work, YouTube's getting ready to start, we're getting ready to film, edit, and I'm going to knock out a couple missions of Serious Sam Next Encounter.
I have a blast when I play Serious Sam.
Man, that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
You know, I think it's really unique. I don't know if it's just because the age we're getting, right? We're you know, in the heart of the Middle Ages, maybe me more so than you, but also maybe because of how busy we are with the channel. My tastes have really migrated into kind of pick up and play stuff. I'm less likely to grab a Zelda game or an RPG or something like that.
Because there's a lot of great games like that on the GameCube.
Yeah.
But that's how we are, you know, especially right now, is these arcade sports games and like these quick pick up and play games like Serious Sam. And I don't know, it's because we're too busy, I guess. I don't know, but even when I was younger, I loved these types of games. You know?
Yeah, I've always been into them as well. You know, I've always been way more into like arcade sports than sim sports, and I think these games, I always have liked these. There's none of these games where I'm like, oh, I used to hate this, now I like it. But it's weird that some of these, like, is it weird to say that in 2022 I would rather sit down and play with you or a friend Beach Bikers Volleyball than maybe dive into like a Zelda game? And that's weird.
Yeah, that is really
because
weird.
Zelda's one of my favorite franchises ever.
And Zelda's great.
It's almost like in gaming anyways, I've almost got like a fear of commitment right now because I don't know if I'll ever get back to it, you know?
I think that's just life in general.
No, it is.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Because the tough part with those big games is like, you pick them up and you're like loving it for a couple hours, and then maybe you get busy for a few days, and then you jump back into it. You're like,
where am I?
Where am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
You don't know. That's why I like this, because you forget you forget the controls. Who cares? You'll learn in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and there was a few on here that were a little longer in nature.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansions and stuff. But
I just think on a percentage scale, it did kind of surprise me. You know, and it surprised me that one of your favorite GameCube games of all time is Mario Kart Double Dash, and you didn't even bring it up.
No, because I'm like currently right now I'm loving Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And so like these are the games that right now in 2022 I'm gonna grab for the GameCube.
It was just that was a fun list because you right away F-Zero, and I was like, not Mario. And then as you were going, you never brought up Mario Kart. But I just think that it definitely shows that our tastes are ever flowing and changing. And truly, in 2022, you're probably like, I wouldn't play Mario Kart Double Dash right now because I'm playing Mario Kart 8 all the time. Yeah. And that's my Mario Kart right now.
That's my Mario Kart right now, dude. It's so crazy. And like, obviously, there's a ton of amazing games on the GameCube. A ton of amazing games on every console. That's what's going to make this series so much fun. Guys, let us know in the comments below, like, what games are you playing right now for the GameCube?
Yeah.
Or what games are you picking up and playing in 2022? I'd love to know, because everybody's different.
Yeah, and I also in the comments, maybe add to that, if you care to, is like, how has your gaming like taste changed over time?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Like, a lot of people ask, you know, do you guys not like RPGs? I love RPGs, but I can't tell you the last time I dove into one. Well, Chrono Trigger on the DS, but for the most, besides, but for the most part, I'm just kind of been there, done that, and maybe someday when my life slows down, I will get back and
in the retirement home.
Yeah,
be freaking
playing
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, there you go. But hey, we got this beer as a gift from our friend, longtime friend of the channel. Had been in our lives for a long time. She kind of met us through the band and everything, and she hooked us up with a hometown brew from Lake Mills, Iowa.
Yeah, this is from 5 Alarm Brewing Company. This is the Breakfast of Champions. It is a good old stout.
Yes.
Haven't had a stout in a while. Haven't done this formation in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit because we've been on the the hunting journey and whatnot. So this was billed to us by Susan as kind of a Reese's Puffs breakfast stout.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, the nose, you get that peanut butter nose, and the taste does taste like Reese's Puffs. It tastes like liquid cereal.
Yeah.
And I think like once this gets more closer to room temperature, I think more flavor will come out because we're drinking it. We just got out of the fridge. But I'm liking this.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
This is a good breakfast beer.
I do wish I'm picking up on the notes. Like I'm eating just raw Reese's Puffs. I wish there was a little more of a creamy component to the beer, maybe a little bit more of a milk component to it, like a milk stout,
some milk sugar or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean,
I will get it's mostly peanut buttery.
Yeah,
there's like a hint of chocolate. Your voice cracked, but I wish there was a little bit more chocolate. But I like peanut butter.
Yeah,
so.
I do too. I think it's really good.
I'm really like. I've never heard of this brewery.
I haven't either. So 5 Alarms on our radar.
5 a.m. alarm.
Yeah.
I hate that one.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in, subscribing to the channel. There is 10 GameCube games that we go to. They are our go-to games as of right now in 2022. And we appreciate the comment that kind of led to you getting the hamster on the wheel and coming up with this idea.
It's going to be fun to dive into all the rest of the consoles because I don't know right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But we'll see you next time right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Well, welcome back, I guess, to the series that you guys apparently like. We did the GameCube already, and it did very, very well. Outperformed our hunting videos, our hunting series, and we're like, well, we got to keep this train rolling. Apparently people like us just talking about random games we'll walk into our game room and play in 2022. So today is all about the PS2.
PlayStation 2, one of my favorite consoles ever. Grew up playing the PS2 all the time.
Greatest selling video game console of all time, I think. The first game on our list, it's a weird one because for me personally, I associate this game with the GameCube, but we couldn't put it in the GameCube video because Robert said, nah, son.
I'm not even a big fan of Pierce Brosnan as a Bond. My guy is Sean Connery. But 007 Nightfire.
Now, for me, 007 games, I'd probably put this like third in line because I was way into them on N64. But I will say, from the Gen 6 era, this is the coup d'etat. This is the gabagool. It's really fun. I like playing it when Robert's not around. He's so good at it that it's not even fun to play. Like he knows all the spots to hide in the map. He knows how to get like the Stinger missiles.
I think the word he was looking for was Sentinel. And yes, I know where it is on every map and I will kill you with it.
When we fire up the PS2, it's not going to be too long before Robert's like, hey, you want to play around at Nightfire? And I'm like, I really don't.
The single player mode is fantastic. The multiplayer mode is fantastic. The guns, the gadgets, the maps, the characters. Nightfire is a perfect game. I know it's available on a bunch of different consoles, but my nostalgia for Nightfire is on the PS2.
Alright, so after hearing my diatribe on Nightfire, the roles kind of reverse here, I feel like, until late, because I feel like he's really picking up on this game. But one of the most underrated first-person multiplayer shooters. Now that's really important to understand. This game multiplayer is where it's at. Single player is cool too, but this game at one point in my life I put on a pedestal, like arguing with kids in college. It was better than Halo. And that's Red Faction 2.
Destructible environments, awesome guns, awesome characters.
And this game just does not get talked about enough. It doesn't. It's frustrating because I've heard major YouTubers that I respect kind of crap on this game. And I'm like, bro, you've only played the single player game. You have no idea what's in store for you on the multiplayer side of Red Faction 2. And
this is another like first person shooter that I'm getting pretty damn good at. Like you gotta figure out where the guns spawn, and like once you do that, you are OP. This game is just so awesome. Pick up and play.
Can't say enough good things about it. Literally my favorite first person shooter of all time.
MLB The Show 08. I don't think I've ever played this, so why is it on the list? I don't know. Probably because Wes plays it all the time, and every time I walk into the game room, he's like, let me just finish this inning real quick. So we had to put it on the list.
Why '08, you ask? I don't know. That's just the one I started playing, and I started the franchise, and it's been going for years and years and years and years and years, and you're like, well, how could you play it that long? Because I play every game. I play the games in my minor leagues. I do all the recruiting. I set up the concession stands. This game is, it's perfect. And I have a little bit of experience with the MLB '08 The Show games on PS3, but like by the time I got to PS4, I was like, what am I doing? I have a franchise in MLB '08 The Show that I love. I need no more.
It looks pretty cool. But I'd have to argue and say MVP 05 is the better baseball game on the PS2. But that's just a personal thing.
I will probably have this franchise with the Milwaukee Brewers until I die. Unless it stops me at like 30 years or something. And it might. Love this game. If you had a PS2 and MLB '08 The Show, that's all you need.
Now, this game is, for me, on the list. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I think it's the best Tony Hawk game in the series. The remake's really good. The remake of 1 and 2 is really good, but this game is like the perfection of 1 and 2 done in 3. The music's great. The skaters are great.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, though, is one that Robert wants to play a lot. So when we go into the game room, he's like, dude, let's fire this up. It's a weird thing in 2022 that this is like a new game to me. Like, yeah, I haven't really dabbled.
This is a game that I have like in my PS2 at home, always loaded, going for 100% with like all the characters. It's just so much fun.
So if you remember what I said about MLB '08 The Show, a lot of this applies to Tiger Woods 2006. Don't know why that's our Tiger. I can't tell you that 06 is better than 05, then 01, 02, 03, 04, 07, 08, 09, 10. Can't tell you that. But 06 does so many things right that I never was perplexed or had the urge to seek out something different.
This game is a blast. 18 holes with a group of buddies, 4 players, multi-tap. And you know every time we play, I gotta play as my favorite South African, Godsend. I know his name is Goosen or whatever, but he's a godsend. He was sent to me from God.
This game is one that we fire up. We'll randomly live stream it. It's not clickable. Nobody's watching people stream Tiger Woods, but we don't care. And John Daly's in it. And I'm a younger version of John Daly.
Something about the Tiger Woods games are just a blast. Pick up and play. Kind of pick up and play because you put in 18 holes, it's 2 hours, but they're so much fun, dude. We play this game like once a month. So much fun.
Next one is kind of a hidden gem that we found recently, which is probably why we play it a lot when we end up in the game room.
The Red Star. This is a new game to me probably 2 years ago.
If you like twin stick shooters, if you like Contra, if you like shmups, I think all that kind of comes together in this weird roux of a game.
I've never really played anything like the Red Star, and I was so excited when we discovered it.
The Red Star is one that we fire up all the time, which is weird because we have other things that could scratch that itch, but we've just played them so much that we don't really go back to them as much. But Red Star is a staple right now for us on the PS2 in 2022, which is what this is all about. This is not a best of, this is not a top 10. It's what we are playing in 2022.
Let's talk wrestling. SmackDown vs. Raw 06, 07. I lean towards 06, but I don't have a preference. They're both great.
And we've been doing, if you guys have been following the channel, like our Royal Rumbles, WrestleMania episodes, etc., have been hovered around these games. And I think 06 is the best in the SmackDown vs. Raw series because 07, although better unlockables, I feel like, and an amazing game in its own right, 07 took the grapple controls and everything to the joysticks, and that's where wrestling games lost me.
The rosters are pretty good. You got old school, new school. It's just so much fun. I love, like, you can go backstage, you can do all this stuff. The campaign is actually pretty fun. We did that a while ago, went through it taking turns.
Right here, I'm just gonna say SmackDown vs. Raw, original 06, 07. We play those a lot. Another cop out here, Time Crisis. I mean, I think we normally probably, if we're gonna just throw one on, do 2, but 3 is hammer too.
PS2 has such an amazing way to play like on games with the GunCon 2. It literally feels like you're at the arcade. Graphics are amazing. The gun is calibrated perfectly every time. Time Crisis 2, Time Crisis 3, Time Crisis Crisis Zone. All amazing like-on games. I think I lean towards Time Crisis 2 just because of nostalgia and arcades.
Honestly, I think when we play our PS2 in 2022, it's either golf or light gun games.
And man, I can't say enough good things about the GunCon 2. It is literally the perfect light gun for at-home play. It is just plug in, bam, dead accuracy 100% of the time. It is incredible.
Gradius 5's on PS2, and it's probably the best Gradius game. But our favorite shooter on the PS2 is R-Type Final. I can't explain why.
Shmups are supposed to be fast-paced and like chaos, and like this game is slow. This game is like final. This game, like, you're like barely moving.
It almost feels like you're dying. It almost feels like the end of an era. The pacing, the music, the game is just a slog.
But it's still kind of chaotic, and it's still kind of like bullets everywhere.
Ever since we picked this game up, we've been obsessed with it. It's a hammer, and for me, it's my favorite shooter on the PS2. I just love it.
I think if you're a fan of shmups or shooters, you need to play this game just because of the slowness of it, but also not. It's such a unique shooter that's so good.
So this next one would be super easy, right? We're huge fans of God of War, huge fans of Ratchet and Clank, but it's an element in 2022. We've been there, done that. Played the God of War games so much. God of War 1 and 2, game changers.
There's been games that have been in our comment section for a while. I didn't play when I was younger. We've slowly been getting into them because people are like, you guys have to play these, you guys have to play these. Sly Cooper. Man, these games, I don't know how I missed these when I was younger. These games are amazing.
I just love the animation style. I think Robert appreciates the collectathon element, of that, and the variety of gameplay.
I'm glad that they're kind of new discoveries to me in 2022 for the PS2 that is 21 or 2 years old. That's pretty insane. But Sly Cooper, man, amazing games.
I just missed the boat on Sly Cooper, so I'm really appreciating the fact that over the last year or two, we've recognized we missed something, and we have to, go back and walk the path that we didn't walk when we were little kittens.
Guys, I could freaking talk PS2 for days. I think it is my favorite console.
Good times, PS2 talk. What are you playing on your PS2? We'd love to know. Drop it in the mother effing comments below. Yeah, because we're always looking for new PS2 games that we should check out.
I didn't mention Guitar Hero. I'm a huge fan of that. There's so many games that I didn't even mention or think of because I'm not playing it right now, but I loved when I was younger or played like a couple years ago. But
this is what we are playing right now.
Guys, Gen 6. I think next up, original Xbox. Stay tuned.
So I think I can speak for both of us in saying that Generation 6 is our favorite console generation. Both grew up PS2 kids.
Generation 6, I think it's my favorite generation of gaming. PS2, GameCube, original Xbox, and the console everyone forgets, the Dreamcast. Today we're focusing on the OG Xbox.
The original Xbox has really found a place in our heart over the last 3 or 4 years since we started the channel, and a big part of it is it's super cheap to collect for. We love the GameCube, we love the PS2, but some of the games are kind of like, I don't know if I can afford that. Typically, not always, but typically original Xbox stuff is super cheap. Then you get the backwards compatibility sometimes on the 360 and sometimes on the Xbox One. So it's neither here nor there, but we've been collecting and playing the shit out of the original Xbox. So in line with this series, like this one should be real easy to talk about. And we picked some freaking bangers.
10 games we still play in 2022 in hopefully under 10 minutes. Let's freaking do it.
I want to start this list off with a really fun fighting game, and we're not big fighting games fans unless it's the right type of fighting game, and when I say the right type of fighting game, yeah, I'm speaking about a little game called Kung Fu Chaos.
This game is ridiculous. It's a beat-em-up fighter / party game in like a grindhouse, but not quite grindhouse. There's a lot of elements of different things in this game, and it's so much fun.
But the idea is you just throw people off the map. You want to stun them, you want to grab them, you want to say, ha! Get out of here!
You basically are like in a movie set, and the director is like filming a movie, but then you're fighting and it's part of the movie, and you gotta get to the end of the level and have the most lives to win.
I don't think anybody that clicks on this video, if you played this with some buddies, you would not have a good time. It was actually recommended to us a while back by Gabbo the Giver.
This is a really cool game, very fun. So, yeah, dude, you guys should play this one too.
There's a mini game that I don't even know what it is, but you're on these platforms and there's this crane that spins and you have to hit it or jump over, and the crane starts going so fast. Dude, I did terrible at this. I don't think I killed anybody in it, but I was laughing so hard Dude, play the crane mission in Kung Fu Chaos. This game is amazing.
You ever went back to first-person shooters from Generation 6 after playing the modern stuff? Sometimes it's like, I used to like that. There's a game, though, that it stands the test of time. I think it's one of the best first-person shooters of Gen 6. And you might be thinking, oh, I know what's coming. No, you don't. Black.
This game is awesome. It's a first-person shooter that is so beautiful, so well done. I love the cutscenes. I love, like, in between missions, it's like a movie, and like the cinematography in the cutscenes is amazing. The sound effects in this game are so, you feel like you're in war. You feel like a badass too, because it's you versus basically a whole army, like all video games are. It's like, all right, one guy takes on the whole army, makes sense.
The environments are semi-destructible. It's just really, really, really good. It's really fun. It is backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and when you play it through HDMI, holy freaking cannoli, Hank.
Ravioli? Holy cannoli.
One drawback of this game is there's no multiplayer, so it's a single-player romp, but it's just a great game, and we put it in to get screen cap for this, and here we just go, and it's like mission, and, you know, the screen cap for this episode took us an entire day, no joke, like 12 hours of screen cap, because we couldn't stop playing games, but Black is awesome.
One of my favorite games of all time, Burnout 3 Takedown.
I don't have a frame of reference of how good this game is on PS2 because I did not play the Burnout games growing up. Shame on me. Robert did, and he introduced me to this game, and if there was a game that I owed him amount of gratitude for telling me about, I can't think of one that would be more than this.
It sucks that we 100%ed it because I don't have like a purpose anymore, but I kind of just want to start a new file and then do it again. That's how good this game is. It's amazing.
It's became a top 10 of all time video game for me. I love the Burnout series, and Burnout 3 Takedown, I can't explain why it's the best in the series other than it's a feel thing. I just like how it feels. It makes sense.
Burnout 3 Takedown, incredible game. Check it out if you haven't.
He doesn't get much better, man.
A launch title for the original Xbox, Fusion Frenzy. It's a party game.
Party game, yes, but it's a party game in the sense that a party game is meeting American Gladiators? Yeah, that's Fusion Frenzy. I will say this game thrives more in a party setting than it does even co-op because the computer's annoying as hell. They're really, really good. Either that or we're really bad. I guess I don't know which way it goes. Probably the latter rather than the former. It's a game that, it's weird because I'm very competitive, and when I lose at shit, I get pissed. I get really, really pissed. I don't ever really get too pissed when I play this game. I'm just having fun. We're laughing. All the games seemingly come down to a very like photo finish situation, and that's just fun.
There's a character in this game called Zach. And I don't know if he's OP or something, but every time the computer is Zach, I want to punch him in the face.
Zach Shellac in the Ack Pack, win again!
But Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox is a joy, and it's another just bottom of the barrel, cheap ass game that you can pick up for next to nothing. And if you've got some friends around or kiddos, family to play it with, it's just a no-brainer. You got to have Fusion Frenzy.
Gauntlet Dark Legacy. When I was younger, I kind of stayed away from the Gauntlet series because they have like RPG elements, and I was like, man, I'm not really into RPG games. But then when I dove into like Gauntlet Dark Legacy, I was like, oh, it's arcadey, it's beat 'em up with a slight RPG taste.
I don't hear a lot of people talk about Dark Legacy, or when they do talk about it, they talk about the GameCube version. We have it on Xbox. There's no other reason that it's in this video and wasn't in the PS2 or the GameCube video, but that's just what we have it on.
This game is badass. Even one player, it's pretty fun, but the way to do it is 4-player. One of my dreams is to sit down with 4 people and beat this in one sitting. That would be incredible. It's just so much fun. It's so stupid. And then you're in the middle of a level and all of a sudden death shows up and he starts chasing you down and you gotta like kill him off with magic.
This game's fantastic. Again, it's 1 to 4 players, which is just awesome from this era. You know, the Xbox has 4 controller ports. It's a multi-playing hammer, and Dark Legacy is just a true joy.
Another arcade game, Arctic Thunder. This game is so stupid. It's just like arcade racing on snowmobiles in crazy levels. It's just like Hydro Thunder or Cruisin' Blast or all that kind of stuff.
It reminds me a lot of the Cruisin' Blast game in a weird way that just came out on Nintendo Switch. You know those games, they feel really easy. This game kind of does too, but I'll tell you this, it's not easy to get first place, and it's not easy to be good at this game. It's one of those racing games kind of like Cruisin' Blast, and I feel like it's almost kind of got you on runners in a way. Like you can't really get too far off the track, and when you get the speed boost, it's just like...
There's sometimes where like you're driving on snow and you're going so fast that the screen is just white. And you're like, dude, I can't even see anything. I'm laughing. It doesn't matter. You're hitting walls.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
If you get a rocket and your buddy's in front of you and you know he worked his ass off to get up there and you can just say, "Hiya! Hadouken!" Feels really good. All right. Let me take a drink here.
This next game is not pretty cheap on the OG Xbox. This game is pretty pricey, but this game is badass, and that's Def Jam Fight for New York. Wrestling mixed with hip hop on the streets? Okay, you got my attention. This game is a blast.
If you're a fan of the N64 wrestling games, you would find yourself right at home here because it's from the same developers. They lost the licensing for the WWE and they had the brilliant idea of, we don't have wrestlers anymore, let's get rappers.
I suck at this game, but it's still fun. Like I feel like sometimes I can do pretty well and then I always lose. And then you can do like up to 4 people. You can have like AIs, you know, and that's also fun because it's just like a free-for-all like cage match, but you're in the streets.
This is one to play with a friend. I feel like it is fun single player. But man, when you knock out your friend in this game, it really, you just look at him with a grin on your face like, how did that feel? Because the finishers in this are so over the top.
It's just like this weird mixture of just chaos and fun, and Def Jam Fight for New York is such like a great wrestling game that's not a wrestling game, if that makes sense.
Spike Out Battle Street. It's a Sega game. It's a beat 'em up. If you've played Urban Chaos, that's an Namco game from this era. You kind of maybe have an idea where we're going.
This is such a fun beat 'em up with crazy weapons, boss fights. The music's pretty good, but it's also like Sega arcade, you know? There's a time limit. It's kind of cheesy. It's ridiculous.
Every character in it's a douchebag. It's very much like early aughts music video with douchey guys in tank tops, and that's what it is. It's very fun to play. Single player has a more flushed out story mode with cutscenes and everything. When you play co-op, you're just dealing with the actual game and you don't get the cutscenes, but that's fine. Who wants cutscenes when you're playing a co-op beat 'em up?
Check it out if you can, dude. I know it's kind of pricey, but I would highly recommend this one.
The Punisher. This game is one of my favorite games from Gen 6. I found out about it a while back. Megadan29 has it on PS2 and was like, dude, you gotta play this game.
This game is incredible. It looks beautiful. We played on the Xbox 360, so obviously it's HDMI and it's kind of upscaled a little bit. You know how some comic booky games, that they're kiddie, and this is comic booky, but not kiddie, dude. Crazy kills, amazing weapons.
The element about it that I really like is it's very pick up and play because it's chapter based. So you don't get caught too often where like, man, I can't get out of this, or I can't save it and be done for right now. You just play a chapter, and if you got time to do that, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
The different kills, the different like interrogations. This is a game when we were getting screen cap, we played for 2 hours. And we could have kept going.
There are some kills that make you feel like you're a little nuts because when they happen, you're like, feel so good.
Check out The Punisher if you have not played it. It's also on PS2, I believe, but we have it for OG Xbox. I cannot recommend this game enough.
The Xbox has a way of, in my mind anyways, I think some other people's too, it's kind of like the Dreamcast too. And one of my favorite games on Dreamcast was Jet Grind Radio. Well, Jet Set Radio Future is on the original Xbox, and it's badass.
Roller skating, graffiti, running from the cops, you're in like a street gang. The music's awesome. I just love like the art style of this game. I love the way it plays.
I have heard people say, well, I don't like skating games. I've heard notable YouTubers like, oh, I'm not into Jet Set Radio Future because I don't like skating games. Is it a skating game though? It's got skate elements. I don't think it's a skating game at its core. Sega, what are you doing with these games? Can we get a new one? Can we get a remake? What do you? I see you put up shirts on your website. Like, so I know you know it still exists. Can we get something? Anyway, Jet Set Radio Future, kind of expensive if you buy the solo single copy, but if you get the one paired with Sega GT Racing something or another, it's really cheap.
Our 10 minutes is up. We talked about 10 games we're still playing in 2022, but there's more games we're playing. So we're gonna do some real quick honorable mentions. Let's check them out.
NFL Blitz 2002 is so good. We got screen cap for this episode, and it's just fun. It was almost like we were filming the episodes for our NFL playoff series that we do. You just get right back into where you left off, and that competitive of just wanting to beat a buddy in NFL Blitz, there's not much that really gets you more fired up than that. So that would be one.
NBA Street and NFL Blitz 02. Amazing pick up and play arcade games. I love the Blitz games. I love the NBA Street games. They're just so much fun because they're sporty, but they're arcadey and they're over the top, and you feel like even if you suck at sports games, you might have a chance. I think NBA Street, if you suck, you will get destroyed, but NFL Blitz, there is some rubber banding, which is nice, you know, interceptions, stuff like that, but amazing arcade sports games. I know they're available on other consoles, but we have them for OG Xbox.
Outrun 2. That would be another one I have to throw on here. Just a quick, easy in and out racer. It's a lot of fun. It can be kind of difficult, actually. It's really hard sometimes to hit those checkpoints and stuff, but it's a beautiful game, almost arcade perfect, I would say.
Outlaw Volleyball. We have Outlaw Volleyball and then Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot. We played a lot of Red Hot. Red Hot, I think, is exclusive. This game is so much fun. And what's crazy about Outlaw Volleyball Red Hot, I think it's just Red Hot, or maybe it's all of them, I don't know, is the narrator is freaking Michael Scott. Obviously, it's not this Michael Scott. It's the guy who plays Michael Scott. But it's so funny because I didn't realize that. We were playing it and I was like, who is that voice? I figured it out, dude. It's Michael Scarn. Yeah, Michael Scarn, dude. This game is incredible. It's not as good as Beach Spikers because Beach Spikers is like perfect, but this is still really fun. It's a lot harder. I will say that because you have to like get to your spots and. But it's a blast.
Halo 2, yeah, that's a fun one. The co-op mode's really fun. Multiplayer mode's really fun. We do play this quite a bit on the original Xbox, but if we're gonna play Halo, we're probably gonna be on 360, like in the Halo 3 realm. But Halo 2 is just so good, and the co-op piece is kind of what we would mostly play. We don't do a lot of 4-player on the original Xbox anymore these days, but the 2-player co-op's a good time. But anyway, the Xbox alive and well in 2022. Super cheap to collect for. I don't know how long that's gonna last. But if you're inclined, you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, I missed the window of being able to play on the original Xbox. And the fun part, I think, with Microsoft is that backwards compatibility. Some of these games, not all of these games, you can play on your Xbox 360. That's where I play the Punisher, the 360. It looks great through HDMI. And some of them you can play on Xbox One. Not all of them. I didn't want to go through the research of telling you which ones you could play on what. So you've got Google. You can probably figure it out. That's what I do. So anyway. Xbox is fire, and it's fun. All hail to Generation 6 and the original Xbox.
So those are Xbox games we still play in 2022 and some honorable mentions. Guys, stay tuned for the next video. We got to complete Generation 6, so there's only one console left. What would that be? Sega Dreamcast. That one's going to be fun, dude. But it's going to be pretty pricey. Stay tuned for that.
Alright, it's time for another romp through some games we're playing on old consoles in 2022. We've done a few of these videos covering the Xbox, the GameCube, the PS2. Today it is time for the Sega Dreamcast. First console I ever bought with my own money, released on 9/9/99.
Let's talk about 10 games we are playing on the Sega Dreamcast in 2022. Guys, this mini-series is so much fun.
See if we can get this thing pulled off.
Guys, this first game is so good, and we first popped this in the first time we ever played it like it's a joke. We were just testing the game out, but then we fell in love, and that's Tennis 2K2.
Virtua Tennis 2, I believe, in other markets, but in the United States, we got Tennis 2K2 with the Williams sisters on the front. This game is so damn fun, and it's really frustrating, too.
When you go to freaking Tokyo and you're playing on the roof, man, it's the finals, and it is really freaking tough, but every time I play, I gotta play as my boy Magnus Norman. He is so good, but I always get frustrated with him because he misses sometimes, and he's better than that.
I love it so much. One of my favorite Dreamcast games of all time. If there was a complaint, I would say that it actually does hurt my elbow because I get so aggressive when I play it. I just push the button so hard, but I love it. Awesome game.
This next game is so ridiculous. Every time I play it, I laugh.
3D beat 'em ups are always kind of goofy, but this game is goofy. It's cheesy, it's campy, but it's badass. Dynamite freaking Cop.
This game is hilarious. The items are so funny. Destructible environments, kind of. You can pick up like vending machines, and it's just absolute chaos. There's all these awesome cutscenes. There's like these scenes where you have to like hit like jump or kick, and you can succeed, and like it's just ridiculous.
I remember buying this game at a local game store with Robert one day. We're just in there and we'd like, yeah, we got to pick this up, and we've loved it ever since.
Two of my favorite things in this game is the first one, the main boss is Hulk Hogan. I mean, not really, but it looks like him, and every time I play it, I call him Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
Hurry up with that bomb! And where is that girl? Why do that freak us?
After you like beat levels, you have to fight each other. It's really weird to I think win this girl or something. I don't know. The voice acting's horrible. The weapons you can use are absolutely ridiculous. You can literally get like a nuclear missile launcher and it blows everybody off the screen, but they don't die. Typically, it takes more than one hit with it.
And the second thing in this game, when you take damage, you lose articles of clothes. Like, what? So when you have like no health left, your guy is almost naked. Why did they add that? I don't know, but it's so funny.
It's just a good time. The cutscenes where they run, all stupid. It's just a joy to play. A lot of fun to be had with Dynamite Cop. It's one we continuously go back to. Love the game.
This next game is new to me in 2022, and that's Soldier of Fortune.
Any first-person shooter fans out there? Not a lot of people talk about first-person shooters on the Dreamcast, and this one in particular, I never hear anybody talk about. I believe it's a port from the PC game, but Soldier of Fortune. This game stands out to me because I remember the first time I played it was the first first-person shooter I had ever played where you could blow somebody's head off, limbs off.
This game, at first, when I put it in, I was like, this is really hard to control. The controls are very unique. You use the buttons to control your guy and this to aim your gun. But after like the first 2 missions, you get it down and then you don't have to think about it anymore. And this game is badass. You're freaking running around, boom, boom, shotgun.
I've always loved this game. The load times kind of suck, but this game's so underrated. If there was a hidden gem for first-person shooter fans on the Dreamcast, Soldier of Fortune is it. It's just an amazing game, and you know, when we put it in for screen cap for this, I was like, that's why I keep coming back to this thing.
House of the Dead 2. You guys know, if you've been around for a while, we are House of the Dead mega fans, and House of the Dead 2 is such an awesome game, and on the Dreamcast, it's a near perfect arcade port.
Finding good light guns on the Dreamcast, like the actual peripheral, does take a little bit of work, but if you get it dialed in on this, it's as good as playing it in the arcade, in my opinion. I love it. Awesome game, shitty voice acting, everything you want in a light gun game. Check, check, and check.
I just love this game just in general. In the arcade, on the Dreamcast, it's so much fun. I love the cheesiness, the ridiculousness about the game.
I can't get enough of House of the Dead 2.
Speaking of House of the Dead, there's a spin-off game on the Dreamcast called Zombie Revenge. If you thought House of the Dead was cheesy and over the top and ridiculous, this takes that to the next level, if not times 10. This game is so bad, but in a good way. Like, so cheesy, so ridiculous.
Beat 'em up, but you can have guns too. It's just over the top. It's out of control. The voice acting is absolute dog shit, which makes the game a beaut, Clark.
Bullets, machine gun, shotgun. Dude, every time you pick up items, it says stuff. It's so funny. The characters are ridiculous. This game is kind of tough because you run out of ammo really quickly, and then there's beat 'em up elements.
If you haven't played Zombie Revenge, you are messing up. It is a joy to play, especially co-op. There's just so many cheesy things. You'll be laughing your ass off while playing this game, and on top of that, it's really good and it's really fun. And love me some Zombie Revenge, and being in the House of the Dead universe, it just gives a little extra cherry on top.
Zombie Revenge is a must-play on the Sega Dreamcast.
Everybody's played Crazy Taxi. I don't know though why. Well, I do know why. It's called the Crazy Hop. That I like Crazy Taxi 2 more than Crazy Taxi. The Crazy Hop, I think that's what it's called, is really cool, and I love the soundtrack in this. There's a lot of Offspring, maybe only Offspring, but the song No Brakes is in this game, and every time I play it, I just freaking drive like I don't have any brakes. That's what you do in Crazy Taxi.
This game is a lot of fun. I love how you can just get in and get out super quick, do a couple missions.
It's maybe kind of a cop-out to put it on the list. It's not a a hidden gem or anything. It's kind of like, oh, here we go. They're talking about Crazy Taxi, but Crazy Taxi 2 is the one. Love the game. I've loved it ever since back when I had my Dreamcast. I still love it today.
Who doesn't love the Crazy Taxi games? And Crazy Taxi 2 is so much fun. We fire this guy up all the time.
Shooters, spaceship shooters, shmups, whatever you want to call them. There is a plethora of good ones on the Sega Dreamcast. The one we're going to pick is hard as hell, but it's gorgeous. It's called Gigawing. Ever heard of it? There are a few other ways to play Gigawing, of course, but the Dreamcast one's the one we have, and we love the game.
It's so damn tough, but I keep going back to it because it's so beautiful and it plays so good. Learn the patterns, live the patterns. That's what you get to do with shmups. So the longer you play this game, the further you can get. Gigawing is amazing.
Gorgeous, bullet hell, gonna chew you up and spit you out. If you're good at Gigawing, you are a badass. This game is not messing around. But it's just amazing, and the shooter library, I mean, Chaos Field, there's so many good ones on the Dreamcast, but this one is the cream of the crop, in our opinion.
Going back to another light gun game, Confidential Mission. This game is also cheesy, ridiculous, you're a spy. I love the main bad guy in this game. This game is just funny.
I love the quick shooting element. You have it like a pistol, and you can get other guns, but the idea is like you just got to kind of kill things in a row very quick, like pow, 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 and that's how you're going to survive this game. There are times where it's like, I don't know how I could have done that any better or pulled it off, but it's just really fun, and it's very satisfying when you get through what I would call those chain kills like that, and you just hit every single one of them dead nuts on.
When you can pop people with one shot and just go down the line, you feel like you are a spy, dude. This game is so much fun.
Again, it's cheesy. The voice acting's horrible, but that's the making of a good light gun game. And I love Confidential Mission on our Sega Dreamcast.
Expendable. This game, when we were getting stream cap, I could have played for the entire night. Once I started playing this game, I did not want to stop. This game is so good. It's so beautiful, like visually, all the effects, the sound effects. There are some flaws. There are some frustrating things, but this game is so good that you look past all that stuff.
It's like a twin-stick shooter, except for there's not twin sticks on the Dreamcast, and it does have its flaws, but I think it's a gorgeous game. I love that you can lock your position and just kind of strafe. It really, really helps in this game, and there's awesome power-ups. The boss fights are fun as hell. The game's really not all that hard. There's a couple dumb things with layering issues in the game. You know, if somebody's up there and you're down here, it's really hard to hit them and stuff, but all that stuff aside, it's not a perfect game by any means, but I love the game, and I think if you're into twin-stick shooters and that type of stuff, I think you would find yourself right at home with Expendable.
I could not stop playing this, dude. Expendable. Highly, highly recommend.
Last game we're going to talk about is a little bit of an expensive game, but it's beautiful. It's another kind of wanting to be a twin-stick shooter, but there's not two sticks on the Dreamcast, but I think it's one of, if not the best Dreamcast game in my opinion, and that's Cannon Spike by Capcom.
This game is also beautiful. It has like an arcade feel. It's just a gorgeous game. What's cool about Cannon Spike though is it starts you off a little bit easy. You know, you're like, oh, I get this. I can climb through the ranks. Then you get around level 5, level 6, and then you're like, what? Then it gets hard. So it tricks you. This game will trick you.
There's so many cool things about this game. You can be Mega Man. I mean, that's really awesome. And the characters in it in their own right are good, but I've always thought Mega Man's special in this game is OP. Turns into like a blue ball, and it can kick some ass. There's a lot of games on the Dreamcast that give me this feeling, but this one in particular, I've never really played something like it. There are elements in boss fights that you feel like you're playing a spaceship shooter, but you're not. And there's bullet hell elements, and there's some really fun levels where you're kind of like snowboarding in a way down this canal, and the boss fight changes the frame of reference, like you're behind it and you got to be in front of it and on the side, and there's just a lot of cool elements in this game. It can chew you up and spit you out though. It's not an easy game, but Cannon Spike is hammer. If you've never played it on the Dreamcast, you might want to fire that one up. Did we do it? 10 minutes? I think 10 minutes is up. But there's a few honorable mentions. Again, this is not a top 10. I think we've said that in every one of these. These are just the games we're really into right now. If we were to go in and say, boop, gonna pop that in the Dreamcast. Not our top 10, but there are some games that were really close to making this list. Power Stone 2.
This game is so much fun, and I'm not even a big fighting game fan, but I would kind of lump this in with like, you know, Smash Bros. Or like Kung Fu Chaos, like that type of fighting. It's not like super fighty. Power Stone 2, everyone probably knows about this game.
We're not fighting game fans, but it's hard to not love Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I mean, what a badass game. Gorgeous, awesome characters. One of the best fighting games I've ever played, and I am not even a fighting game fan. So we wanted to bring that one up.
Now, their sports games on the Dreamcast are so much fun. The arcade sports games, NFL Blitz, NBA Showtime. I know they're cross-platforms. I know they're available on everything else, but they're still so much fun to put in. And when you go around and play all these games on different consoles, you have to relearn how to play, so it kind of feels like a new game. So that's a life hack for you.
The 2K sports games, yeah, they're a little dated to go back to, but they were groundbreaking at the time. I think if you were around back then in 99 or early 2000 and you walked in and seen NBA 2K on like a kiosk, it was like a situation. The games look so good, and they still are really, really fun. I played our buddy Godfrey in NFL 2K2 not that long ago on the Dreamcast, and we had a great time playing it.
We talked about one of the games in the series in the last episode on the Xbox, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, but Gauntlet Legends on the Dreamcast is equally so much fun. I just love the Gauntlet series. It is just so much fun to get 1 to 4 people together, pick your character, go around. I love the announcer, that booming, bassy voice. God, Guys, the Gauntlet games, we could talk about them forever. It would be fun to like do a whole dive into the series. That'd be really fun, but Gauntlet games are great.
Jet Grind Radio, we got to bring that one up. One of the best Dreamcast games. I don't know that it was going to make this list just because of the point in time we're at. I've played the hell out of it. I really am into Jet Set Radio Future, which we talked about in the Xbox game a little bit more, but it's still worth mentioning.
The Sega Smash Pack Volume 1. This is cool because it's like, you know, a collection of Sega games. Some games, you know, are kind of available on everything, but what's really cool about this pack is you can get Virtua Cop 2,
the light gun game, and that's the only way you can play that game on the Dreamcast. So it's really a really awesome collection to get. Definitely worthy of being an honorable mention. It almost made it into our 10 games, but anyways, do you love the Sega Dreamcast? We love the Sega Dreamcast. It gets shit on. Sega did so much in a year and a half or whatever it was with that console. It's amazing that it was only on the market that long. Maybe a video idea of what did it accomplish in its short time comparatively to these new consoles that are out now that everybody's like, oh, the PS5. Like, what is there to play on the PS5? I don't know. I digress, but what are you playing on your Sega Dreamcast? If you love it, leave it in the comments section below. Woot, woot, woot. $99.99. Sega Dreamcast, baby.
We're done with Gen 6. So much fun. We did GameCube, PS2, Xbox, Dreamcast. What should we do next? I don't know. There's a lot of consoles left. Maybe tell us in the comments below, what console do you want to see us do next? That'd be fun. That would be fun.
We're done.
We're done.
This should be a fun one. This is where it all started for me. I think it's where it all started for Robert too. The Nintendo Entertainment System.
I have so much nostalgia for this console, and dude, this console still is amazing in 2022. Today we're going to look at 10 games we are playing on the NES in 2022 in hopefully 10 minutes or less.
This is not a top 10. This console has been in my life since I was like 3 years old. First video game console I ever played. And there are some games, of course, your Punch-Outs, your Marios, 2, 3, the first one, Gradius, games that we played all the time growing up.
Now, obviously, this list could be super easy. This list could be filled with Marios, Castlevania, Dr. Mario, Punch, all these common, amazing top 10 games. But we didn't want to be easy and make a generic list that everyone has. Today we're going to do 10 games that we're playing that aren't those normal games, because we're still playing those. These are 10 games that we're playing right now that nobody really talks about.
The thing I love about the NES is there's still games I have not encountered. So what I would walk into the game room and play today versus what I would have done when I was 3, when I first started playing the NES, is vastly different.
So let's jump in.
First game on our list, awesome game we are playing in 2022. We actually just received, if you have seen the hunting video, we have sealed the deal on Power Blade 2. Taito game.
A holy grail for the collection. We've been playing this game for a while because we had it on a multi-cart. It feels so good to have it in physical now. The platforming is so good. This game is just badass.
It's kind of tough, but it should be. NES games are tough. NES hard, you ever heard of it? Power Blade 2 is awesome.
We're going to be working on a no death run. We're going to do videos on it now since we have it in the collection, but Power Blade 2, wow. Do you like pizza? Do you like Domino's pizza? Then you might like Yonoid.
I love Yonoid. I love the Noid. I've got a little action figure of him in the game room. It's a very nostalgic thing for me. And it's actually a pretty damn good game. I'm not going to say it's the best platformer on the NES. That would be very hard to do. It's probably not even a top 10 platformer on the NES, but I love it.
This is a weird game. It kind of reminds me of like the Chester Cheeto games, but better. Because those games are kind of sucky. It's just a platformer. It's tough. This game is tough, but it's really fun and I could not stop playing it.
Playing video games is annoyed. It's a Capcom game. And I don't know if you guys remember those Domino's pizza commercials, but it just all kind of comes full circle. The nostalgic blood courses through my veins when I'm playing Yonoid, dude.
Annoyed hates hot quality pizza. He loves to make your hot pizza ice cold.
You want to talk about an underrated NES game that not enough people talk about? Most have heard of it, but I don't think a lot of people talk about how great Jackal is. A Konami game. Co-op, this game is incredible. I love it. You drive around in your little Jeeps, pew pew pew.
Run and gun, but your Jeeps, I always call them tanks. I know they're not tanks, they're Jeeps. but they're tanks to me, tanks in my heart. You shoot missiles, you can upgrade your tanks. We're going for a co-op no death run on this.
Good old Jackal. Love me some Jackal.
Jackal is so much fun. I love firing it up. The music's great. This game is just amazing.
Shooters, spaceship shooters, shmups. But you're a cowboy.
Do you like being a cowboy? Because you can be a cowboy in Gunsmoke. Dude, this game, it's gonna seem stupid. It's gonna seem like it's not fun, but it's a game, once you start playing it, you can't stop.
Another Capcom game, and this game is so incredible. It's underrated. It's so fun to play. It is literally like a vertically scrolling spaceship shooter, but you're a cowboy. And I don't really know how else to describe it other than that. It might not even sound cool, but let me tell you something. It is really cool.
Your shots are controlled with the A and B button. You hit them both to shoot center. The controls are a little weird, but once you get it, it's fun. And this game is so weird, and I don't know why I like it so much, but I love it, and I can't stop playing Gunsmoke. Shatterhand. This game is also a badass platformer. You know, kind of reminds me of other platformers, you know, Power Blade 2-esque style.
Is it Jailco? I don't know exactly how you say it, but I know it was developed by Natsume.
This was a grail we were looking for a while back. We got it.
This was kind of like the Power Blade 2 before Power Blade 2 for us. Picked this one up a few years back, but I love Shatterhand.
The cover is really freaking cool.
I can't tell if it's a good cover or a bad cover. I love the cover. It's got that guy in the, just like with like the 80s. Looks like he cut his hair with a Flowbee, and he's like breaking through his fistas, and he's got the glasses on. I love Shatterhand. It's so fun, and it's another game it's got some difficult parts, but you can get through it.
This game is so freaking sweet, and platforms on the NES, guys, they're just great. I mean, some of them are dog shit, but this one is really good. Obviously, we could have thrown a bunch of all the
New to our collection in 2022, a game that I would have slept on. I would have thought this was not the G.I. Joe game to play on the NES, but G.I. Joe Real American Hero. I don't think I've ever played a game by Taxon.
I feel like this is kind of a hidden gem, dare I say, on the NES, because everyone thinks of like the Capcom G.I. Joe game. This is not the Capcom G.I. Joe game. This is by someone else. I don't remember who it's by, but this game is so sweet. The visuals are really cool. What's really cool about this game is you can build your team of 3 characters from the G.I. Joe roster, and you can switch them in between, in and out.
The boss fights are so fun in this, and you can play as the different characters, kind of maybe reminiscent of the Ninja Turtle games on the NES, where you can pause and switch characters and to preserve one's life, things like that. But anyway, G.I. Joe Real American Hero, that is getting a lot of time on our NES in 2022.
Hey, look at me. Now I'm a real American hero. G.I. Joe!
Heavy Barrel! You ever played Heavy Barrel? It's an arcade port to the NES, which they did a pretty damn good job. I mean, the whole thing is you're trying to build the gun, the Heavy Barrel, and it's like an ass kicker once you get it completed, and you only get to use it for a certain amount of time.
This is another one of those games that once I start playing, I can't stop. I'm like, no, let's just try one more time. Let's just keep going, dude. Especially co-op.
Another really fun game to play co-op, and this is a sleeper. I remember when we started the channel, I had remembered seeing this game back in the day, but I don't think I'd ever played it.
What makes this game unique, though, compared to like other shooters and stuff like that, is when you pick up guns, you have a limited amount of time. You like run out of bullets and then you go back to a pea shooter. So like in other shooters, you're used to spamming the shoot button. But in this, if you spam the shoot button, your good guns run out of ammo really quick, and then you're screwed. So you kind of have to relearn how to play shooters when you play this game. But this game is so much fun.
We actually both have a copy of Heavy Barrel because we love it so much. Awesome game. If you haven't played it, you should give it a go. And it's really not that expensive. I think you can get into that game for like $30.
This next game is so stupid, and I think it's pretty cheap, and I recommend it to everybody, and that's Kings of the Beach.
We like volleyball games, and the ones we usually talk about on the channel have chicks in it. Nothing better, though, than some sexy, scantily clad dudes playing volleyball in Kings of the Beach. An Ultra game, Konami, but this game is, even the menu system, when you were on the menu system, you were like, this game is going to be dog shit.
Kings of the Beach is so terrible, but it's so good. Like when you start off the menu, it's kind of confusing to get 2-player, and what's really cool about Kings of the Beach is it's up to 4 players. You can do 2v2, bust out the NES multi-tap, How often do you do that? Kings of the Beach, you can.
Once you get out there on the sand, though, this game really, really thrives. It does have a little bit of a learning curve. I feel like the timing when you first play it, it's a little wonky, but once you get it down, there's nothing more satisfying than playing this game 2-player and a little bump set spike. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
This game is really hard, though. The controls, the timing, but when you freaking get the timing right and you can spike them, you feel like a literal king of the beach.
I know there's other, probably more popular volleyball games on the NES. This is the one we play. Love us, Kings of the Beach.
This next game, we talk about so much. This game is one of the best games on the NES.
The only game on this list that I've been playing a ton since I was a kid is Batman by Sunsoft. It's one of the best NES games. I think you'd see it on a lot of people's top 10s and things like that. But why do I still care to play it in 2022 is because we're working on a no-death run on it.
First off, soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks ever. Platforming, amazing. This game and Shatterhand remind me a lot of each other. They're both really good. But Batman just, I think, is a little bit better. The wall jumping mechanics are so perfect. The different gadgets and weapons and the level design. I could go on and on about Batman. You guys probably know Batman. It is incredible.
Everything about it just brings back nostalgia. Michael Keaton is the real Batman. Christian Bale can go whatever. But Michael Keaton's my Batman, and he's the Batman on the NES.
We're gonna take you down, Joker. So watch out.
Jack is dead, my friend. You can call me Joker. And as you can see, I'm a lot happier.
From one caped crusader to another, we're going to finish off the list with a Capcom game, Darkwing Duck.
This is a new game to our collection in 2022. So cool. NES came out a long time ago, and we're still getting new games for it. Darkwing Duck is so much fun.
I don't know what it is about like that Disney cartoon era. It could have just been an age thing, but I'm a sucker for that type of stuff. And the show Darkwing Duck, and this game does not disappoint. It's I think it's built on the Mega Man engine. It's very similar to Mega Man. It's not as hard as Mega Man, I don't feel like, but there's some parts that'll bust you up.
It's kind of unique. It's a platformer, but there's all these different mechanics, and like there's a little bit of a learning curve at first. It's kind of hard. Darkwing Duck is another one of those games. I fire it in, and I'm like, no, I can get a little bit further. Let me just try one more time. It's so good, and dude, the way Darkwing Duck looks, I just like his sprites, like. Such a sweet game.
I am the weirdo who sits next to you on the bus.
Honorable mentions. Games that were really close to making the list, but they just don't get played as much as the other games on the list. Blades of Steel. Love Blades of Steel. It's a game I've played throughout my life. It was a game I never owned, but it seemed like everybody I knew other than myself that had an NES had Blades of Steel. That was just a common game.
This game is so basic and so simple, but it's just so much fun because we love hockey versus mode. Last time we played this, though, I dominated, so I'm just gonna always bring that up. It feels so good. Blades of Steel, it's a classic on the NES.
Castlevania 3. Not super new to our collection, but growing up as a kid, I played a ton of the original Castlevania, and then quite a bit of Castlevania 2, which was the weird one as a kid, right? Like, what do I do? Where do I go? Castlevania 3 kind of returned to the form of the first one.
I played a ton of the first one. I'm still playing a ton of the first one, but 3 is like newer to me. I didn't play that a lot. So it's fun to jump into 3. I'm not playing as much as these other 10, though, so that's why it's an honorable mention.
Scat. We posted a no-death run on the channel of Scat, so that's why it didn't make it. Had this video been shot like 3-4 months ago, Scat would have been in the list. It would have made it, but now it's just an honorable mention because been there, done that, Scat.
There's areas in this game. I don't know how he did it. It's going so fast, you can't even see what you're doing. I'm not as good at this game as he is, but Scat is badass. Check it out if you haven't.
Bucky O'Hare. This game is just a game we haven't played as much as we probably should have. It's new to our collection. It was a gem we added to the collection in 2022.
This is a great platformer. It's so cool. I will say what's frustrating about Bucky O'Hare is when you start it up. There's all this story you have to go through, and you can't skip it, and I get it. They're setting the scene and all this stuff, but sometimes on an NES game, I just want to put it in and start immediately. I don't care about your backstory, Bucky O'Hare. So get out of my life. No, just kidding. It's a great game. It's cool how you can select different levels, and it's a great game.
I didn't want to go through all the games that could be honorable mentions. I mean, I beat Mike Tyson's Punch-Out like every other week. The first Mario Brothers I play all the time. You know, I know Robert plays the shit out of Dr. Mario. So many games that we play all the time, but we've been playing them all the time. And so this is kind of the new stuff that we're really grinding on the NES. So I don't know, in the comments, do you want to tell us what you're playing on the NES?
That was 10 NES games plus some honorable mentions that we're playing in 2022. And hopefully under 10 minutes. Did we do it? I hope so.
And I tell you what, if you're one of those people, because there's people that have actually said this in our channel, that the NES doesn't really have any good games, you're an idiot. And then if you're also one of those people that's going to leave a comment that says the Sega Master System is better than the NES, bye. Today, it's all about the good old Super Nintendo. Who doesn't love Nintendo's second home console? Took things to the next level. Now we were playing with Super Power.
The Super Nintendo, a console I did not play growing up at all. So the Super Nintendo is new to me as an adult, which is so cool because there's a lot of amazing games.
What games are we playing in 2022? You know, there's the obvious stuff that you always go back to, but these are the games we are playing today. This is not a top 10. This is, if we walk into the game room, what are we jamming on in 2022? And hopefully there's some games on this list that you're like, you know what, I've never tried that.
Today we're going to look at 10 games we are playing for the Super Nintendo in 2022 in hopefully 10 minutes or less. Can we do it? Let's see.
So like a lot of games on this list, the first game we're going to talk about is a recent pickup and a grail, if you will, that we've added to our Super Nintendo collection, and that is Capcom's Demon's Crest.
Feels so good to finally have this game. This game is awesome.
Holy cow, Ghosts and Goblins universe. You get to play as Firebrand. The game just controls really unique.
It takes a little bit to get used to the controls, you know, like the flying elements and the platforming. But once you get that down, this game is so much fun.
Beautiful game. The sprite work is impeccable. The boss fights are super, super fun. There are some hitboxes on boss fights that are so razor thin that you have to really be a master of the controls.
When you play Demon's Crest and you call the demon Creston, it changes the whole vibe of the game. It's not spooky or scary anymore. He's just an adorable little demon named Creston.
Only thing I would maybe say that's a little goofy is the overhead map. It gets just a little wonky, but once you figure that out too, you're gonna be fine.
Super Turrican. Run and gun game. This game is fantastic. It has all the elements you want in a run and gun game. Fast paced, awesome guns, the sprite work, the music in this game is incredible.
It has a little bit of back and forth, not quite Metroidvania, but it's not just straightforward either. It's kind of like a maze, if you will, to get through some of these levels. I just love the sprite work. I love the shooting mechanics. There is a second one on this console.
That game is fun, but the pacing is a little bit slower. It's still fun, but the first one is so good.
It's a new game to us. We've played it before, like through emulation and things like that, but we've really been playing a lot of Super Turrican lately, and it's really good.
Every time I pick it up, I'm like, oh, let me just play one more level. One more level. It is so much fun.
I'd buy that for $1. Oh my god, dude. Literally dripping. Do you like TV? Do you like Smash and shit? Well, then you'd love Super Smash TV. I realize nothing to do, but that's the next game on our list. Old Faithful. We've been playing the shit out of this game. We picked it up at a convention early on, and we'd played the arcade, Smash TV, and I think the NES one. But this game,
one of my favorite Super Nintendo games ever. Super Smash TV. I cannot get enough of this game. It's so stupid and simple. Top down, twin stick shooter on Super Nintendo. How does that work? It works great.
If you've never played a twin stick shooter on the Super Nintendo, you're missing out because it works really well because of the 4-button interface on the right hand, unless you play upside down, then you'd be weird. But it works like the second joystick, and it plays very, very well, and co-op is just amazing on this.
This game is so much fun. You're going around shooting people, collecting toasters, collecting VCRs, collecting coins and money and cars, and it's just ridiculous because it's a game show that you kill people on and you try and get the most money? Doesn't make any sense, but Super Smash TV is such a blast.
Big money, big prizes. I love it.
Fourth game on the list. If you like Super Smash TV, There's another one for you that we just picked up not that long ago, per recommendation of Megadan29, and that's Total Carnage.
This game is very similar, but you're no longer in a game show. You're in real life. You're in war, and you're taking down all these enemies. This game takes the hardness to the max. This game is difficult, but you got to pick up the extra lives because you're gonna need them.
Really cool sprites. The game seems a lot harder than it is, but there are a lot of lives to be picked up. Keep your eyes out for the dog tags. I will say this game is probably, I feel like, 5 to 10 times easier single player than co-op because it doesn't give you as many extra lives when you play co-op. Like, I don't even think it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You would think they would double it, so there's 2 people. It doesn't work that way, so it's a lot tougher 2-player.
Such a beautiful, fun game that's addicting because every time you die, you go, I'm an idiot. I knew that was coming for me, so then you just keep trying, keep trying. It's like one of those games that you can pick up and play, or you can play for hours.
If you like run and guns and twin-stick shooters and you haven't played Total Carnage on the Super Nintendo, I'd be picking that one up, and it's not even that expensive of a game.
Total Carnage!
This next game is so hard, but yet so beautiful and cute, and like, you're like, why is this hard? But I want to keep playing it. Pocky and Rocky.
Recently, when we were loading up our Wii U, because Wii U shop's closing, gotta get these games, we tried Pocky and Rocky on the Game Boy Advance, so that made us have to play it on the Super Nintendo.
Such a unique game because it feels like an old school RPG because of the top down, you know, art style and animation, but it's like a run and gun. And you're like, it's like a shmup kind of, you know? This game is so difficult, but it's so much fun, and you cannot stop playing it because you go, I'm gonna figure you out. And then once you figure out the patterns, you make it a little bit further and a little bit further. Pocky and Rocky is incredible, and I know there's like a new one on the Switch now, and
it's all about shooting shit, learning the patterns, living the patterns. As cute as this game is, don't let it freaking fool you. This game will stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry like it's 1995.
This next game is a staple in the Super Nintendo library, and that's Contra 3: The Alien Wars.
I think it's one of the best Super Nintendo games, period. I love it.
Why are we still playing this in 2022 when maybe a year and a half ago I No Death ran it?
Reason we're still playing it is Robert, he big dicked me when we did our playthrough, and he No Death ran it, and I didn't. That's a problem.
Whoa!
That's a awesome run.
That's how you freaking kill the game right there.
Some stupid ass deaths, but damn.
I don't think I died.
For real?
I don't think I died.
So we're just gonna keep playing it till I can get a no death run and be like, I'm just as good as you are. But Contra 3, The Alien Wars, if you're a Contra fan and you haven't played it, you probably have. But if you haven't, we're still playing it in 2022, and we love it just as much as we always have.
This game is amazing, especially co-op. The Contra games are fantastic, but Contra 3: The Alien Wars, it might be my favorite Contra game, if not my second favorite. It's so good.
You maybe have heard on this channel before that we really don't care for racing games, and we really don't. It's got to be the right type of game. Arcade racers, though, it's a different story, and there's something about this next game that has been in my life for so long, and I've loved it ever since I started playing it in like 94, 95, somewhere around there. Top Gear 2.
The second one is addictive. It's like crack. You got to keep playing because there's like these RPG elements, kind of, because every race you get money if you place well, and then you can upgrade your car and you keep driving. So there's kind of strategy in what you upgrade first. Do you upgrade your engine? Do you get more nitrous? Do you get better tires?
I like this game better than like Outrun on the Genesis. And I know that's probably a crazy ass thing to say, but I love this game.
When we were getting screen cap for this, we kept playing it, and then once we got done getting all the screen cap, we were like, now let's put in Top Gear 2 again. Like, this is a game that we have not put away yet, and every time we go into the game room, we're like, all right, let's just start over. Top Gear 2, see how far we can get.
The sounds of this game put me in like a trance. The screeching of the tires, the sound of the cars, the way the graphics progress.
Top Gear 2 is like crack, and when you're playing, you're like staring and your eyes kind of get blurry because you're just paying attention to the road. It's so much fun.
Up next, a co-op classic. Well, you don't have to play it co-op, but that's how we play it. From Konami on the Super Nintendo, Sunset Riders.
This is a new game we picked up in 2022. When we first fired this game up, I was like, this looks like a beat 'em up. This is gonna be like a beat 'em up, a cowboy beat 'em up. Okay, I can get down with that, you know, whips and stuff like that, but it's not. It's a run and gun that looks like a beat 'em up, and you're cowboys, so absolutely. This game is so much fun.
Love this game. I love the art style. I like any game where I get to live out my dream of being a cowboy. and I get to do it in this game. Sunset Riders is badass.
I just love run and gun games and Sunset Riders, man. You can be a cowboy and you're running and you're gunning and you're riding horses. You're living the dream.
Awesome graphics. Love this game. So glad it's in our collection. It's a little bit of a pricey game, so do what you got to do to play it. But I think it's definitely worth a playthrough, especially if you've got a buddy or somebody around that you can play co-op games with. Don't miss on this one. Sunset Riders is so good.
There's a lot of incredible beat 'em ups in the 16-bit era, but one that we're playing a lot because it's new, we finally got it physical, is Final Fight 3.
Beautiful sprite work. The game looks great. The button combinations are awesome and they're pretty intuitive and easy to learn, unique to each character. So to do your super, you need to be able to look at the manual, or maybe there's websites or something. We don't have the manual, we just bring up the PDF of it. But this game is a lot of fun. Landing your supers is really important.
I have a new crush. Lucia, I think, is my new favorite lady in video games. She is a babe, and every time I play, I gotta play as Lucia. She's just a badass, and I would love for her to beat me up.
I've always thought Final Fight was kind of a little bit of that third layer behind Streets of Rage and like the Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist stuff, but that's not to crap on Final Fight. It's badass, and it's like a new beat 'em up for us. I know it's an old game, but it's new to us, and we're playing the hell out of it. It's really good.
The last game on our list is a staple as well for the Super Nintendo, Castlevania 4.
This game, for anybody that got chewed up as a little kid playing Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, are going to find themselves in a different state of mind playing this game.
Beautiful freaking game. Konami, you got the directional whip, the platforming, the music, freaking Simon Belmont.
Not that the game's super easy, but I don't think it's the level of hard of a lot of the other Castlevania games in the series. And I feel for this style, so this isn't the Metroidvania style, this is still traditional Castlevania. I feel like this one controls the best out of all the ones that I've played.
Castlevania 4, we've been playing the hell out of this game. It is so good.
So that's our 10 games we're playing in 2022. We're going to rattle through some quick honorable mentions. Some we're really close to making the list. Others, we've just played so much that it's like, man, we love the games. We do throw them on occasion if we're testing a console. They're just not getting the love they used to.
You know, obviously, Super Mario World, that's got to be in there, but that's a game we fire up all the time, and, it's kind of a cop-out answer, but Super Mario World, incredible. UN Squadron, amazing shmup on the Super Nintendo. Pretty freaking hard, but I love shmup, so I'm always going back to UN Squadron.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Love the freaking game. If you've played it, you know what it's all about. It's one that we definitely want to try doing a co-op no-death run on someday, but the priority on it's very, very low. Love the game.
There's 55 undead levels. I haven't gotten even close to 55. I've gotten to like 17 maybe. But one day I will get there. One day I will beat Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Another beautiful game that gets thrown in from time to time is Aladdin on the Super Nintendo. Both the Genesis one and the Super Nintendo one are great. I'm more partial to the Super because that's what I had when I was a kid. Just love it. Great sprite work, but both awesome games. It was a cool time where you could get the game by the same name on two different consoles and they're completely different.
Adventures of Batman and Robin. This game is probably one of the most beautiful games on the Super Nintendo. The colors, the environments, the sound. This game is so good, but yet so cheap. Like, it's difficult. There's a learning curve when you first start this game because of all the weapons you have and like figuring out the hitboxes, and like there's a lot of cheap deaths in this game. And what's frustrating is
the Adventures of Batman and Robin, but you're just Batman. All right, sweet.
Batman and Robin. This is a single player game. What? That doesn't make any sense to me.
NHL 94. Yep. Been playing it for years. Don't love playing the computer in this game, but I do love playing another person. It's a lot of fun. Definitely gets played from time to time. I don't know why we like hockey games so much. Neither one of us even like hockey, but whatever.
TMNT, Turtles in Time. This game is beautiful. Probably, arguably, one of the best games on the Super Nintendo. One of the best beat 'em ups. So freaking good. We played the hell out of this game ever since we started the channel, so it wouldn't be quite fair to put on this list, but we're still playing the hell out of it. So we had to mention it in the honorable mentions because it is a fantastic game that we will always be playing on the Super Nintendo.
And then Super Punch-Out. Awesome game. I'm not playing it as much as I was the last 2 years. I did a no-death run on it on the channel, and once you kind of do that, you still keep your chops up, but you just don't play it as much. But man, there's so many good games. This list was so freaking hard to make. But you just got to go with what are we going to play when we walk in the game room today? in 2022. That's our list.
Guys, that was our list. 10 games plus some honorable mentions. Super Nintendo.
So let us know in the comments below, would any of the games on our list today make the 10 games that you would play or are playing on the Super Nintendo in 2022? The fun part about this series is this stuff is changing all the time. Ping us again in 2023. I don't know if any of these will be on the list. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Maybe it's a been there, done that kind of thing. What I think is so cool about the Super Nintendo, though, it's got such a vast library that there's 10 games on this list, and only a couple of them we grew up with. The rest of this stuff, man, we're playing it for the first freaking time because we finally got it in the collection. What an awesome console.
I just want to, like, pause this video and play Top Gear 2. Like, it's addicting. But let us know what console you want to see us do next for 10 games we are playing in 2022. We're having a blast making these videos, so hopefully you're having a blast watching them.
We appreciate you tuning in, subscribing to the channel. We'll catch you on the next.
The good old Xbox 360. I played the hell out of this console when I was younger, when it first came out. Such an incredible console. I know it had a lot of problems, Red Ring of Death, all this stuff, but back in the day, the 360 was a hammer.
Back in the day, if you would have asked me if I would be playing Xbox 360 in 2022, I probably would have asked you, will there be any consoles that work? The Red Ring of Death was a huge deal, but nonetheless, they did get it buffed out, and the Xbox 360 is freaking hammer, and it's a real easy console to collect for right now, so I would say if you put it on a ratio of what consoles we pick games up for the most, it's up at kind of the top tier, because we find this stuff all the time, and there are so many bangers on the 360 that we just didn't get around to playing back in the day.
And from this generation, as much as I'm a Sony guy, I think I like the 360 better. It's just such a great console. Today we're going to look at 10 games that we're still playing in 2022 on the Xbox 360.
There may be some familiar games to you on this list, but I'm hoping there's at least a few that you're like, ooh, I never got around to that. Looks pretty cool. Let's see if we can get this done in 10 minutes or less. You guys know the drill. Let's roll this thing.
Lollipop Chainsaw. This game feels like one of those teen movies, but it feels like a parody of those teen movies because it's so ridiculous and raunchy.
This game's a riot. It's a hoot, if you will. You're just this cute teenage girl that likes lollipops, and it's just over the top, very campy, crude sense of humor, and you have a chainsaw and you just hack the shit out of zombies. I mean, it's unbelievable. The stuff that they say in it.
So much freaking fun. Just hack and slash, laughing at the jokes.
It's more than just being funny. Of course, that's a big part of why we like it. But the game actually plays really well. That's why it's looking to get remade in 2023. But you should definitely check out Lollipop Chainsaw. If you like games that are just stupid funny and they can deliver from a gameplay side, you'll have a good time with it.
My girlfriends say my dad is a total dill.
One of my favorite arcade-style boat racers.
Hydro, Thunder, Hurricane. We have talked about it on our channel before. Sadly, never got a physical release, but you can get this on Xbox 360, and if you don't have one, guess what? You can get it on the Xbox One, which means I think you can get it on the Xbox Series X digitally. Nonetheless, play this game any way you can.
The best in the series, hands down. Incredible game. Water physics, music, 4-player split screen. So much fun. It just feels like you're at the arcade, but you're at home, and they added bitcoins.
I love the collectible tokens. We call them bitcoins. I love going for those. Sometimes you don't even care if you win the race as long as you got the bitcoin.
So when you're playing, you're searching the map. I think there's like 10 bitcoins per level. So that's like more replayability for an already awesome replayability arcade game, if that made sense.
A great, fun time, and it's really fun to play co-op or with a group of friends as well. Check it out.
Good old Hugh Jackman. Wolverine.
You know, superhero games these days are kind of a dime a dozen. They kind of start following this formulaic way that they do these games. Like, I think Batman Arkham Asylum was kind of the beginning of, this is how every superhero game made going forward is going to be and how it's going to play. And some of them are dog shit. One that I assumed was dog shit was Wolverine.
What a badass game. This game is incredible, so intense, so brutal. Visually, this game looks incredible. You feel like you're Hugh Jackman himself as Wolverine.
This game is unreal. It is brutal. This game is rated M for mature for a reason. There are kills that'll just make you go, whoo, that's gotta hurt. It's such a good game. I'm not even a huge Marvel fan. but I do really like X-Men.
Freaking going around stabbing people, sneaking up on people, launching at people. It's so cool when you do that lunge thing.
Our friend Brian was like, hey, I know you like the Punisher on the original Xbox. Wolverine's better. I'm like, dude, get out of here. Come on. Played it. I'm not going to go that far, but it is really good.
Wolverine is incredible. Highly, highly, highly recommend.
Next one kind of fits into this space, but similar style kind of in a way, but also so very different.
Deadpool is awesome. What's crazy is this game came out before the movie, so the guy who plays Deadpool isn't Ryan Reynolds, so it throws me off. But back in the day, you wouldn't have even known what that was. So this game is so good. It breaks the fourth wall because it's about making a video game, but you're playing a video game. It's just ridiculous.
And he has a plot for a video game, and things will happen. He'll be like, I don't know if that was on the script or whatever. Gameplay mechanics are great. There's some unique things in this game. There's a 2D level in this game that kind of would remind you of maybe some Zelda stuff.
So brutal. I think this game is also rated M. There's an upgrade mechanic. You can buy different guns, buy different melee weapons. This is a game that when I put it in, I cannot stop playing it. It's like, oh, let me just do one more mission. So much fun.
And the reason we put this on the list after Wolverine is Wolverine's in this game.
Wolverine! My healing factor came from his DNA. So we're like twins, except he's short and furry, and he smells funny.
There's a scene where you fall out of a helicopter and he's just smacking the shit out of Wolverine, trying to wake him up, and you can just beat up on Wolverine for as long as you want, pretty much. And the game is just a joy if you're a Deadpool fan.
This next game is one of my favorite games of all time. It's either this or the third in the series.
Catch me on the right day, and I could say that Burnout Revenge is my favorite racing game of all time. I think the fact that you can hit traffic going the same direction as you really changes this game.
The graphics, the visuals, the soundtrack is so freaking good. The crash modes, even though I hate them, the burning laps are still fun.
And I think this is the last mainline entry in the series before Paradise, where they took things to an open world space. Paradise is okay, but this is how Burnout should be.
We've 100%ed this game. But we just started another save file, and we're doing it again. That's how good this game is.
This game was actually even released in Gen 6, I believe. I think it was on PS2 as well, but nonetheless, Xbox 360 is where we play it, and on our Xbox One, Burnout Revenge is one of the best video games of all time, and of course, racing games as well.
Play it.
Baltimore Retro Gaming actually recommended years ago this game to us on the Xbox 360. A lot of people don't think of the 360 as a great machine for shooters, meaning like spaceship shooters, you know, the pew 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 stuff, bullet hell and whatnot, but Dodonpachi Resurrection is a game you should definitely check out.
Shmup on the 360, sign me up. This game is beautiful, but it is so hard, and when you play this game, you go in a trance because there is not much room to go. You get stuck so many times and you're like trying to figure your way out. This game is a ball buster.
Buster? You can't do that on the balcony, buddy?
Bullets everywhere. You gotta learn the patterns, gotta live the patterns. The game isn't super fast. It's very chaotic though. There is a flow and a fluidity to it that doesn't just completely pound your asshole. I think it has fairly forgiving hitboxes on the ship, which is sometimes nice when you're playing these type of games, but I think it's a game that a lot of people will be like, whoa, I did not know there was a game quite like that on the 360.
So much fun. I love shmups.
Licensed movie games, they typically have a bad rap for sucking, right? And I'm not saying this is the greatest movie franchise of all time, but you know, if you grew up during the time, there's a nostalgic place in a lot of our hearts for when this stuff was coming out. Next game is from Konami, and it's Saw.
This game is terrifying. This game is freaky. This game feels kind of like you're in an escape room.
I assumed this game was dog shit. I think most people probably would think if you were at a thrift store today and saw on Xbox, you'd probably be like, eh. It's freaky, it's scary, it makes you kind of want to panic. You have to move really quick and think really quick.
And then there's all this stuff you have to figure out and remember while you're learning more about the game and going through it. Like, you're barefoot, so you got to be careful because sometimes there's glass and that will hurt you. Oh, some of the doors, there's shotguns, so if you aren't careful, bam, you're dead. There's so many things you gotta remember in this game.
I think a lot of people miss this one. I think there's a second one too, but I've never played that. Maybe that one's even better than this one. I do not know, but I know that the freaking original one's awesome. And I got this on the DL. I think I got this game for $1 or $2 when a family video was closing, because there's still a sticker on the center of the disc.
Highly, highly, highly recommend Saw.
Portal 2. I would have probably never gotten around to playing this game had we not started the channel. This is one of Robert's favorite games.
One of my favorite video games of all time ever made.
This is one of the most fun co-op experiences I've ever had, and that's saying a lot.
I love the first one, but Portal 2 took it to the next level because the campaign is incredible. But wait, it's the second one. There's 2 campaigns technically. There's a single player campaign and then there's a multiplayer campaign. 2 different stories. Co-op experience in Portal 2 takes this game to the next level.
Definitely deserves to be on this list. We play the hell out of this. It doesn't take us too long if we're playing 360 to pop that one in. Alan Wake and Bake. I mean, Alan Wake.
This game is cinematic. This game is beautiful. This game is so well done.
Alan Wake is a game that I don't know why it doesn't get talked about more. I guess there was a little bit of buzz around it recently when it got the remasters and what have you, but this game is unbelievably fun and scary, and it gets your pulse going, and you kind of are also like, is this guy just losing his freaking mind? Or what the hell is happening here? Is this all a dream?
And you want to keep going and figuring out what's going on in the story. Highly, highly recommend. I feel like I've been saying that about all these games, but these games are incredible, and Alan Wake is so good.
We don't want to spoil the game for you, but you start off as this author, and shit starts going sideways very, very quick in the game, and it is scary. And when you're like running from shit, it feels like all hell is breaking loose and you're on the edge of your seat. Very cinematic.
Left 4 Dead 2. I played this so much when I was younger.
Valve only does 2 games in a series, and we were left with Left 4 Dead 2. That's where they left off, but it's an amazing game, up to 4 players. One part of this game that pisses me off is it's only 2-player on the same console. I wish they would have done 4-player split screen. I don't know why they couldn't have pulled that off.
Why isn't it 4-person split screen? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why didn't Valve do that? I don't know.
But it is a great LAN party game because of that 4-player piece. Awesome time. If you like zombie games, it's a pretty quick beat. You just get in there and you survive the hordes.
Different types of zombies. You got melee weapons, you got guns, you can find stuff.
It's one of those games that plays as good as you remember it playing when you pick it up today. I like it because it's fairly pick up and play. Just save your file and knock out a mission. Don't play it for 6 months. Jump back in with a friend. Bam, it's right there. Let's knock out another one.
Again, Valve, where's the third one? Come on. Are you afraid of the number 3? If you are, just make Left 4 Dead 4 then. Just skip the 3 and make another one. We want another one. We want more zombies. Left 4 Dead 2. So good. So that was our list. 10 Xbox 360 games we are playing in 2022. By far, this has been the hardest episode we have worked on because the Xbox 360 library is incredible. There's so many great games. So that means there's honorable mentions. And then obviously there's games we haven't played because we haven't played everything. And so people in the comments are going to be like, why didn't you talk about this? Why didn't you talk about this? We can't play everything, but maybe we'll check it out. So do tell us, why didn't you talk about this? Maybe we'll check it out. Honorable mentions, Halo 3 OTSD. We play this game all the time, not because of the campaign. I mean, the campaign is good, but because of the multiplayer LAN party elements.
Love Halo 3. It's been a while since we've had a LAN party. Probably a little over a year, but we need to get another one on the books.
Another arcade racer, Blur. This game is incredible, and if I didn't know about Burnout, I would say this is one of my favorite arcade racing games. Blur is so good. Visually looks freaking great. The power-up mechanics, missiles, invisibility, shield, all this stuff. It is so much fun multiplayer.
I've always thought of this game as like adult Mario Kart. This game would definitely be on the list, probably, if it was better for LAN parties. That's the shitty part. I think you can only do one console, or one person per console at a LAN party. That's so stupid. Should be at least 2, if not 4. That would have made it one of the best LAN party games ever, but I digress.
This next game almost made our list too because it's this close to being a perfect game. But there's something about it, like, I think it's just a little bit too hard, and there are things where it maybe is a little bit broken. Splatterhouse. This game gets talked about a lot because it is incredible, it is brutal, it's badass, it's keeping the Splatterhouse name alive, but it's freaking hard.
Splatterhouse. This is one that gets slept on. The game is actually kind of frustratingly hard, though. A lot of people, when they talk about the game, they're like, oh, it's so cool. Ugh. And critical acclaim for the game was not very good. The game is good, but there is a difficulty there that a lot of people don't talk about. But I think the value in this game is you can unlock the first 3 Splatterhouse games through different checkpoints in the game. You get so far, you can unlock the first, second, third, so on and so forth. Awesome game.
A lot of Valve on this list, and the orange box is all Valve all the time. You got the first Portal, you got freaking Half-Life 2, and you got Team Fortress 2. Great value, especially if you're just getting into the 360. This almost made our list as well. The first Portal is really good, but Portal 2 I think is better because of the co-op, so that's why Portal 2 made our list.
Auto Medius Excellence, another shooter that almost made the list. It's a spiritual successor to Gradius, which makes it pretty, it was pretty close, but it's very new to our collection. It was a recommendation from a friend, so haven't had enough seat time with it, but it was close to making the cutoff. Another game that almost freaking made our list and was on our initial list and then got bumped. Rockstar's Table Tennis. You thought I was gonna say Grand Theft Auto, didn't you? No, Table Tennis, ping pong. That's all it is. It's just straightforward ping pong, 1v1. There's no depth to it. There's no, I mean, you can unlock different characters. You can maybe change your outfits, but it is fun. We love stupid games like this, and it just plays and feels so good. It's such an awesome head-to-head. It's in that same category as like the volleyball games for us, and like the Sega 2K2 tennis, and like, it's just stupid fun that you can play for hours if you have a buddy. Table tennis on the 360. You should play it. The Gears of War games, it was really hard not to pick one of those, but we've been there, done that. Honestly, we've moved on to like 4, or the newer ones, right? 1, 2, and 3, though, they're always fun to go back to, but I don't see us going back for a while. Got through most of those when we started the channel together, and now we're on to the new stuff, 4 and Gears 5. Awesome games, though. Great co-op games. They're really cheap too, and they're just as good as they've ever been, but we're on to the new ones. So I'm not really playing them a ton in 2022. Nonetheless, do you still play the Xbox 360? If you don't, hey, to each their own, but I think it's a great time to get in on the console. Not only because the games are super cheap, but the games are also backwards compatible so many different ways. The ones that are backwards compatible, maybe you have Game Pass and you could just play them that way. But nonetheless, it's all about playing the games. So that was our list with honorable mentions. 360, incredible console, and like I said at the beginning, I think I like the 360 better than the PS3, and I'm a Sony fanboy, so that's hard for me to say, but the 360 is so freaking good. What games are you playing on the 360 in 2022? It could be backwards compatible games, so if you're on the Xbox One, still counts. Let us know in the comments below. And what console do you guys want to see us do next? A lot of people were saying Sega Genesis, PS3, who knows? Let us know in the comments below. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, talking video games. This series is really fun. And cheers to the Xbox 360. We'll see you next time, right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade graphics.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
16-bit arcade action.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis
Does.
Genesis does.
16-bit arcade hits.
You can't do this on Nintendo. Genesis does.
What Nintendo?
Sega Genesis 2022. Having a lot of fun playing the Genesis, collecting for the Genesis. Grew up a Super Nintendo kid. Now, there were neighbors around the town that had a Sega Genesis. One of them had the Sega Channel. So I'm familiar with this stuff, but I'm just really starting to get into it on my own. So this list is maybe kind of a little vanilla because these are the games I'm legit playing. The good old Sega Genesis. This console is a new love for me in 2022 because obviously I'm a Nintendo kid, I'm a Sony kid. I missed out on the Genesis, so I'm falling in love with it in 2022, and there's so many amazing games, so many amazing things that I just didn't play when I was a kid, so it's awesome to play now. 10 games in 2022 that we are playing on the Sega Genesis, and we say this in every one of these episodes. This is not our top 10. These are just the games we would fire up if we would go into the game room this year that we're grinding on, that we love. Let's talk some Sega Genesis and see if we can get it done in 10 minutes or less. Roll this damn thing. This first game, I'm so glad we have it physical with the tattoo, The Punisher. You ever heard of it? Punisher, if you play co-op, Nick Fury joins the scene, and they are ass-kicking machines. This is a little different than some beat-em-ups because there's guns. You can shoot people with guns, which is really awesome. God, this game is freaking badass. There's button combos because like throwing grenades is a little tough, but once you get that down, the game isn't really that tough. I think if you would sit down with your average beat 'em up player, you can probably take this game down in your first sitting, but that does not take away from the fact that this game is absolutely kick-ass. The Punisher, we cannot stop playing it. The Adventures of Batman and Roadkill. I mean, Batman and Robin. On the Genesis, I think it's the better game on the Genesis. There's kind of that debate of, is it better on Super Nintendo or the Genesis? The cool thing is they're both good games in their own right.
I love Batman. Robin's alright, but if you're playing co-op, someone's got to play as him. This game is amazing. I love the art style. The music is incredible.
I think the Genesis one reminds me a little bit more of a run and gun than a beat 'em up. It's got some Contra vibes to it. When you're close enough to enemies, you can give them the old but you're mostly throwing items and the like.
This game is so freaking good. It's good single player, but it's great if Robin joins it. 2-player co-op, fantastic game.
And I love the Batman animated series. This game captures it really well. Beautiful, awesome music, kind of tough, really cool game. Love it, and we're playing a lot of it in 2022. Streets of Rage 3, another recent addition to the collection. It's a game we picked up at the Midwest Gaming Classic, which was really cool.
This game is really good, but the thing that bothers me about this game and this whole series is friendly fire. I know if you're good, you can split the screen and stuff, but sometimes I accidentally pick up my partner and I freaking hurt him.
Love the Streets of Rage series. Don't have a lot of seat time with Streets of Rage 3, so that's why it's on the list. I don't know that I like it any better or worse than the other ones in the series. It's pretty damn good. It's a little tougher, I think. But that just could be because I'm pretty new to it.
This game is still really good, and every time I play, I gotta play as Blaze. She's my girl. Great game.
I played this game a little bit when I was growing up with one of my buddies on the street that I lived on, but I haven't played it near as much as 1 and 2. Love Streets of Rage 3. It's just a hammer beat 'em up, and now that I'm thinking about it, that's 3 beat 'em ups in a row. But Streets of Rage 3 is really freaking good, and you should probably play it. Ooh, this next one, you are not gonna see this one coming. A little indie release by Kai Magazine, I believe, in 2021 called Metal Dragon. It's a top-down run and gun game, mostly vertically scrolling, but it alternates. Some levels are side-scrolling. This game is really freaking badass.
It's like a Metal Gear Solid spoof, but then it's a top-down run and gun type game. This game is so badass, and when it does like the cutscenes that are like Metal Gear Solid, he's like cussing, and this game is really funny, but it plays pretty well.
I am a little frustrated that they didn't put like a strafe element in this game, so you can't just like side to side, but they are very forgiving. They give you a lot of extra life and things like that in this game. I found out about this game a while back. Retro Gamer Boy did a video on it, and I will put a little doodad right up here for that video if you want to check out more about this game. But I was like, I gotta have that. That's right up my alley. Not co-op. That's another thing I would give this game a ding on, but Metal Dragon for a 2021 Genesis release, pretty freaking good. You should check it out. If nothing else, watch some gameplay of it or something to see if it's up your alley.
We love our shmups, and Truxton is a badass shmup.
This game, I feel like the first 2 levels of this game, you're gonna be like, okay, I got this down. Not too shabby. Just wait, the game gets hard as hell. Beautiful game though.
There's a lot of areas where you can get pinched, and I'm like, should have known better. And then you start over and you get pinched again in that same spot. And that drives me nuts, because that happens to me a lot when I play this game, but this game is badass. The laser gun or whatever it is, oh, so freaking cool.
I think this game may be a little overrated, but it's still really freaking good. There are some other shooters on the Genesis that throughout the years, but I've played them, so that's why I'm really into Truxton right now. Picked it up not that long ago, CIB.
There's multiple different weapons. You can pick up power-ups, you can pick up bombs. Oh, this game is beautiful. The music's freaking great.
There was another shooter that's going to be in our honorable mentions that was really close to making the list, but Truxton made our list for games we're playing in 2022. And if you're a shooter fan and haven't played Truxton, what are you doing? Go check it out. Beautiful game. And I love the skull thingy, like the, special shot. We just can't stop playing this next one. No reason for us to keep playing it because we did a co-op no-death run. One of the greatest achievements in channel history. Contra Hardcore, we whooped this game's ass. And it was one of the best feelings I have ever had in gaming. Oh, we fucking got it! Oh, yes! Yes! We hung too long on that last one.
Oh no, dude, I was so nervous.
Holy shit.
You ended with 6 lives. This game is badass. 1 to 2 player co-op run and gun fun.
And it's kind of like going back and just taking another hit off the old crack pipe. Contra Hardcore, arguably the best Contra in the series. Fight me. I'm sorry. I could be a prisoner of the moment. Love Contra Hardcore. This game, co-op, it will chew you up and spit you out, but man, getting it done Again, personally, I don't know what Robert would say, but greatest gaming achievement I've ever felt. It gave me that rush that I had when I beat Tyson for the first time when I was 7 years old.
There's different characters, there's different paths, there's the music. This game is like a perfect run and gun co-op masterpiece. Contra Hardcore, can't say enough good things about it.
Contra Hardcore is one of the best games on the Genesis. This game's in no particular order because if it was, it would have been number one. But we're just shooting from the hip. Contra Hardcore is badass. If you're a Contra fan and you haven't played it, that's a you problem.
Castlevania Bloodlines. I love the Castlevania series, and obviously they're all really good. Bloodlines is a new game for me though, because I played a ton of 1 through 3, 4 is really cool. So Bloodlines is sweet because it feels like a new Castlevania adventure in 2022, even though it came out freaking 30 years ago, which is absolutely insane.
Awesome Castlevania game. I think if you really had to get down to the nitty gritty, it's probably the second or, I don't think it's as good as Castlevania 4. But there's something about it, and I can't quite explain why I think this, but it almost reminds me more of the NES Castlevania games than Castlevania 4 does. Don't know why that is. Something about the aesthetic of the game, I almost feel like I'm playing those older games. It definitely looks better.
There's 2 different characters you can pick from, different stories, different weapons.
I love Castlevania Bloodlines. It's another recent pickup. A lot of these are. We got it CIB recently, and it doesn't disappoint. What's Konami doing with Castlevania? Come on, guys. Get your shit together. We need another Castlevania. I mean, the blueprint's there. Just follow it, make a new one. Not that tough. Shinobi 3. The Return of the Ninja Master.
This is, I think, the only Shinobi game I've ever played personally, but I think it's great.
I don't know a ton about the Shinobi series, but I think it was Mega Dan 29. It's like, hey, you need to play Shinobi 3. It's badass. And then I was going through my local game store a few days later, and I was like, showing.
One thing that drives me nuts is you can run out of throwing stars or whatever the things that you throw, and then every time I run out, I feel like I'm just screwed. And then you die, and I'm sure there's ways to be like, oh, well, don't use them right away, and But either way, this game is freaking badass.
Getting screen cap for this took us a little while. Robert was the one playing, and he just kept on going and going and going. But nonetheless, Shinobi 3 on the Sega Genesis is badass. Love it, and it's one of the games. We've got a little stack of games we just kind of keep out because we're just playing here and there when we're editing and whatnot. That's more fun.
Another beat 'em up on our list. TMNT Hyperstone Heist.
If you just walked into a room and what are they playing? Oh, and you dip out, you might think it's Turtles in Time, but it's not. Very similar, done in the same art style, plays a lot like that.
It's a Turtles beat 'em up. It's so awesome, and there's no friendly fire. So I'm gonna say I like this better than Streets of Rage 3. Hot take, I know, but the friendly fire drives me nuts. This game is beautiful. I love the sprites, I love the artwork, the music.
You get re-energized because it's a different game than you knew growing up. I've played Turtles in Time so much. I know what the next level's gonna be. I know what the next bosses are gonna be. There's no surprises. It's still fun. But this is almost, the way people feel about Shredder's Revenge that came out. It's like, oh, a new Turtles game. It's about time. I know it's not a new Turtles game, but it's kind of new to me within the last 3 to 5 years.
It's just nostalgia. If you love the Turtles, if you love beat 'em ups, Hyperstone Heist is amazing.
This next game's title is just kind of an oxymoron. It's called True Lies. I don't even really know what that means, but I do know Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor, and he's in this game.
Get to the chopper. True Lies. This game is really unique, really funny.
It's a top-down action. It's kind of got an adventure, puzzly, room to room. You got to find different items. It just looks really cool. The characters in the game are just squatty and kind of chunky monkeys, and they're just kind of like, awesome game.
You can pick up different weapons. There's like a shotgun and a machine gun, and you feel like a badass when you're blowing people up with the shotgun, but then there's civilians, and you don't want to kill them. First time I played this game, I thought you killed everybody, and then I got a game over real quick.
We picked it up in a big collection we bought recently, and the guy we got it from was like, you need to play this game, and we've been playing it, and it's like, yep, we missed this one. What's the clock at? I don't even know. Did we make it? 10 minutes? I don't know. But love us some Sega Genesis. Didn't grow up with it, but we freaking love it. Honorable mentions. We cut the honorable mentions down in this video a little bit comparatively to the other ones in this series. We're just going to go with 4 quick hitters. The shooter that almost made the list. We are playing it, but not as much as Trucks, and is Hellfire.
A shmup on the Genesis that was real close to making our list, but I think I like Truxton better. Hellfire is really cool, but there's some things that are frustrating about it.
Very, very unique game. You start off, and one may think to themselves, oh, they're just kind of copying what Gradius did. Not really. You have 4 shots that you can cycle through, and you got to use all 4 of them. There's no way you can't. You got just a straight ahead pew pew pew. You've got a 45 spread shot, shoots 45 bottom, top, back, out your ass, whatever. And then you got one that shoots straight down and the one that shoots straight out the tailpipe, and you really have to cycle through those. It's a cumbersome mechanic, but when you start figuring it out, it is very rewarding. I think that mechanic is what makes this game hard. Cycling through that and landing on the right one when you're in panic mode. I don't know if shooters make you guys panic, make me panic a little bit. That makes Hellfire kind of difficult.
Rocket Knight Adventures, this game is an incredible platformer. One of my favorite parts about Rocket Knight Adventures is when you kill the enemies, their clothes fall off. Why do games do that? I don't know, but I love when games do that because it's just so funny. It makes it so like childish and kiddie, and I laugh at it every time. This game was also so close to making our list. We've been playing this game for a couple years now, but still an incredible platformer.
Konami was on fire during the 16-bit era. Well, 8-bit era as well. Hell, they didn't really get off the wagon until the PS2 era. But anyway, Konami, Rocket Knight Adventure, badass platformer.
Gunstar Heroes, another awesome run and gun game, co-op. This game is sweet because you can pick, different guns and different things. There are some weird, frustrating parts in this game that I can't really explain, and it's not user error. I feel like it's just game error. Sometimes I get really mad for no reason when I play this game, but it's still really fun, especially co-op.
And I've heard people say it's better in Contra Hardcore, and you are freaking drunk if you think that. Gunstar Heroes is cool. Contra Hardcore looks at that game though and is like, here, son, hold my beer.
And then Dinosaurs for Hire. This game is badass. A run and gun Contra style game, but you're dinosaurs. And what's cool is you can pick as different dinosaurs that have different guns.
Now it doesn't have the polish. It's not as good as Contra, but this is just a hidden gem. We've liked this game for a long time. Recently finally got it physically. We've always been able to kind of emulate it. But Dinosaurs for Hire is really cool. I think if you're a Contra fan and you've been through all the Contra games and you're like, I need another run and gun fix. And today, I feel like a dinosaur. Check it out. Dinosaurs for Hire. Bam.
The one thing that's frustrating about this game, I'm sure single player this game's great. But when you're doing co-op, the platforming is frustrating because if someone jumps and you fall off the screen, it hurts you and then it takes away your life. And it's just really hard. You got to work together when you jump and platform in this game. It's frustrating if you play with another person because you just accidentally kill them all the time. But Dinosaurs Run and Gun, how can you say no to that? It's a badass freaking game.
There you have it, Sega Genesis. Games we're playing in 2022 in the comment section below. Let us know, what games are you playing in 2022 on the old Sega Genesis? Let us know. We like finding new games just like everybody else. So we haven't played everything. I love when we get comments on these videos. How didn't you mention this game? These are games we're playing in 2022. I don't know how many games you can play in 2022. You can't play every game in the Genesis library in 2022. Hell, we haven't even probably heard of all the games in the Genesis library, so those type of comments just make me smile.
What console do you guys want to see us do next? We're slowly chipping away through every console in the game room, so what's going to be next? Who knows?
The Genesis makes me smile. Anyway, we'll see you next time, right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Welcome back to this series where we're talking about games we would pick and play in our game room in 2022 for old consoles. Today is the PlayStation 3, a console that still in 2022 looks amazing.
The good old Sony PlayStation 3. This console was pretty cool, but I was a 360 kid, so I didn't play it a lot when it came out, but I'm playing it a lot in 2022, and there's a lot of sweet games for the PS3.
We're going to attempt getting through 10 amazing PS3 games that we're still playing in 2022 in 10 minutes or less. Let's see if we can get this done. First game, digital download only, not exclusive to the PS3, but it's a game a lot of people missed, I think. And it's in the Contra franchise, but it doesn't have the Contra name on it. It's just called Hardcore Uprising.
This game is badass if you love the Contra games. Visually, it's beautiful. The music is like heavy metal. I will say like the gameplay feels a little bit slower than the Contra games, but it's still really fast-paced and fun, if that makes sense.
It's run and gun, beautiful graphics, beautiful cutscenes, awesome boss fights, co-op, couch co-op, kind of a rare thing these days.
This game is so awesome if you're a fan of Contra. Hardcore Uprising is a must play.
You know we love our light gun games. The PS3 is actually a light gun hammer, if you will, because of the PlayStation Move. And if you have all that stuff to play light gun games on your PS3, you better have Time Crisis Raising Storm.
You get 2 Time Crisis games, Time Crisis Raising Storm and Time Crisis 4. Both amazing Time Crisis games. And then you get Dead Storm Pirates, which is a very unique on-rails pirate. It's ridiculous, but it's really fun.
Raising Storm is not as good as Time Crisis 4, so that's why I'm happy they packed it in here, but it's definitely a must-play for Time Crisis fans.
This is an awesome collection if you're a fan of light gun games, and guys, the Time Crisis games are amazing, so duh.
This next one's kind of a goofy one. NBA Jam On Fire Edition, and I don't think it's available via digital download on PS3 any longer, but if you already had it per our recommendation many moons ago, you would still have it installed on your PlayStation 3. NBA Jam On Fire Edition is amazing, but if you didn't download it, you can still nug out this bad boy. Just the regular NBA Jam on PlayStation 3.
I think this is my favorite NBA Jam game out of all of them, even the arcades, even the old school ones. This game is amazing. Visually, looks great.
EA Sports got the rights. You would have thought they would have ruined it, but they didn't. This game is amazing. Tim Kitzrow's back at the helm. If you don't know who that is, that's the NBA Jam voice guy. He's on fire! Boom shakalaka!
Are you between the ages of 18 and 35? Do you still have game, or is your game in the lane lame? Well, maybe you should find out about Boom Shakalaka Energy. That's right, if you want to dunk all night long like you did when you were 18 again, try Boom Shakalaka Energy now with Dunk It All. That's right, Dunk It All guaranteed to give you 6 extra inches of vertical. If you have a dunk lasting over 6 seconds, call Dr. J immediately because you just broke his record. Side effects include trash talking, foaming at the mouth, and catching on fire. Boom Shakalaka!
The co-op campaign story mode is incredible. You can do big head mode. The blacktop on some of like the things looks so cool. Dude, every time I play this game, I'm like, it looks great, it plays great.
One of my favorite NBA Jam games ever made, if not the favorite, according to me, my favorite NBA Jam game is NBA Jam On Fire Edition. I've always played it on PS3.
Twisted Metal, another franchise that hasn't been talked about in a while. And this is the last one in the series. This is one where I think this is my favorite in the series as well. Twisted Metal on the PS3.
Twisted freaking Metal. Everybody remembers Twisted Metal really on the PlayStation 1. They had 1, 2, and 3. Then it was at Twisted Metal Black on PS2, all great games. And then it just kind of disappeared for a while. And then they brought it out on PlayStation 3, and I love this game. Now, it is got the battling and things that you're used to in Twisted Metal, but I think this game really thrives in its narrative-driven story mode, which seems kind of goofy for a Twisted Metal game, right? But they do a fantastic job.
This game is gorgeous. This game is badass. This game is brutal. This co-op campaign in this game is ridiculous, but it's so much fun. We play this all the time, and the cutscenes and the story is like, oh my god, like it's vicious. It's Twisted Metal. Check it out. It's awesome.
Underrated wrestling game. Now, wrestling games are always hit or miss. You know we love our old school WWF, WWE stuff. Not enough people talk about this one right here. WWE All-Stars. Yes, the game is over the top. Yes, it's arcade wrestling action. Yes, you can do flying elbow drops where you jump damn near off the screen. But don't let all that chaos fool you. The fundamentals of this game are perfect.
The character selections is pretty cool. You got some modern, some old people. Everyone is jacked. I think Macho Man has like a 14-pack. They're jumping off the ropes.
It controls right in line with what you would expect if you were a WrestleMania 2000 NWO versus WCW Revenge, or even the SmackDown games. The controls are just intuitive. You got your grapple, strong grapple, weak grapple, strong attack, weak attack, and then the finishers are over the top. There's even, I think, some unlockable characters.
This might be my favorite wrestling game of all time. I know it's ridiculous. I know there's not much depth to it, but it is just so much fun to get 4 people together and you're just freaking bouncing off the mat and flying up in the air.
I just don't know why nobody ever talks about it. I think people look at it and are like, that was made for kids. I don't know, maybe it was, but this kid really likes it.
Call of Duty World at War. Why the heck are we playing Call of Duty? Not for the campaign, for Nazi zombies. If you want a dose of nostalgia, throw this in and play the first map in Nazi Zombies, and it will take you back to when this game came out and you played Nazi Zombies for the first time.
Now, if memory serves me, this was the first game, I don't even see it on here, that Treyarch did. Infinity Ward had done the Modern Warfare series. Treyarch comes in, they put out World at War, and at face value, I wasn't very into this game because I was like, I don't want to play with those older guns. I'm used to Modern Warfare. But then they nugged in this game mode called Nazi Zombies.
There's 4 different Nazi zombie packs. We're playing all of them. I think the last one, I don't remember what it's called, but you got to turn on power and electricity, and we cannot stop playing it. Nazi Zombies is so much fun. I know it's on other Call of Duty games, but we just are playing this one right now, and it's incredible.
Actually, before filming this episode, we were playing the hell out of it, just trying to get one round further, one round further, one round further, and the zombies have happened and been in other Call of Duty games. Black Ops had it, and some of the newer ones as well. But something about the original, back on World at War, is just the cream of the crop.
So you guys know we love the Burnout series. We love arcade racers. Split Second.
This game is amazing. It's not Burnout level, so if you get it and think it's not quite Burnout Revenge, you're right, it's not. It's not quite Burnout 3 Takedown, but this game is unique and it's very fun. The racing is very fluid. It's like an arcade racer. You're on a TV set for a show called Split Second.
Split Second is incredible. The graphics, the visuals.
Fun thing is you aren't really doing the destructing of your opponents yourself. You're blowing up these set pieces and timing them as they drive by. You have to power up through drifting and drafting, and then you can use these explosive tactics as they drive by. Bam, how you doing? A truck comes out, hits their car, knocks them out, for a little bit, and then you can pass them. And it's just a lot of fun. You got to get used to the mechanics.
There is some learning curve because the drifting's a little bit weird, but once you get it down, it just feels right. When you can time explosions and take people out or like crash into a bridge, it just feels so cool, and I love how unique it is, because it's an arcade racer, but it's on a set, so it's kind of like Burnout meets Smash TV in a little bit, because it's a TV show.
Don't have anything to hold up for you here. Why? Because it's digital download only on the PS3. House of the Dead 4. I believe the only way to play this game is in the arcade or on the PS3 digital download with the PlayStation Move controllers. I'm sure there's people who have found ways to emulate it and whatnot, but from a home console perspective, that's very unique.
This is such an awesome House of the Dead game that a lot of people I feel like don't talk about because, House of the Dead 2, House of the Dead original, incredible games. And House of the Dead 4 I think is kind of hard to find, so people forget about it, and this is one of my favorite House of the Dead games.
PS3 actually is kind of a House of the Dead sleeper. You got 4, and I think you can get 3 on it as well, and then House of the Dead Overkill Director's Cut or whatever is on there. Not a lot of people think of the old PlayStation 3 as a House of the Dead arcade device, but it is.
God of War 3, a staple on the PS3. If you're talking PS3, you're going to be talking about God of War sooner rather than later. This game is beautiful. This game is so badass.
I've always thought 3 was kind of the apex. 1, 2, and then 3 just looked gorgeous. It was that updated PS3 graphics exclusive to the console. Not a lot of the games we've talked about today are exclusive. Doesn't matter. These are just games we're playing. Not a top 10, just the games we like playing right now in 2022. And God of War 3 is definitely up there.
When you start this game, it throws you into the action. The graphics are over the top and visually it's like breathtaking and you're like, oh my, it feels like you're kind of in a movie, but it's a hack and slay. God of War 3 is a must freaking play.
Going back and playing it, it makes you kind of miss that old style. Not throwing any shade at the new God of War on PS4, but it's more story driven. They really changed kind of the hack and slash element. They didn't completely reinvent the wheel, but if you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. Just a little different. God of War 3 is a breath of fresh air.
Then the last game on our list is a collection. So is it a cop-out? I don't know, but we're playing it. The Sly Cooper Collection. It includes 1, 2, and 3.
I've always thought this cel-shaded, like cartoon art style stands the test of time very well. This game will never not look amazing. I don't know what else they could do. Even if they release it on modern consoles, it would just still look great. You don't need to really upgrade it. And this is, for me anyways, an awesome piece in our collection because you just have it all right there.
This game is a great pickup if you want to get that Sly Cooper fix and it's HD. I know people complain about like the frame rate and the loading times are kind of rough, but the gameplay is still fun and it's still Sly Cooper and it's HD and you get all 3 games.
It is going to run you a little bit. I think it's like a $25, $30 game. But if you haven't played the Sly games or you're just wanting to scratch that itch and play some Sly Cooper again in 2022, must own PlayStation 3 title. Did we do it? 10 minutes. 10 games we're playing on PlayStation 3 in 2022. It is worth noting, we say it in every episode, but these are not top 10s. We always get things in the comments. Well, how did you have a top 10 list and not include this game? These are not top 10s. Think about your top 10 NES games of all time. They're prior games like Mario 3, and they're that you maybe aren't playing a ton in 2022 because you played the hell out of it in your lifetime. So that's why these games are on this list. They're the ones we're playing on PS3.
But of course, if you've seen these videos before, there are honorable mentions. So let's talk about it. This first game is one of the first co-op games we played as a channel. It's so freaking good. You need to play it co-op though, because the AI does suck if you do it single player, and that's Resident Evil 5. This game is incredible. I love playing this game. And co-op, it's the way to go. It's Resident Evil, so it's great.
It's a great co-op romp on the PS3. It's a super, super cheap game. But if you play this game co-op with someone, it kind of rises to being one of my favorite Resident Evil experiences that I've ever had. So it had to be an honorable mention, but I've just beat it so many times that I didn't want to, I'm not playing it a ton, but with the holiday coming up, Halloween being the holiday I'm referencing, I might play this game again. Another one that falls right in line with the Halloween time coming is Monster Madness, and nobody really talks about this game. Kind of a poor man's version, modern graphics, of course, of Zombies Ate My Neighbors, I feel like. It's like a top-down, beat-em-up survival. It's a great co-op game. Kind of expensive, I think. I think it's getting up there a little bit, but Monster Madness is a lot of fun.
This feels like Zombies Ate My Neighbors mixed with Gauntlet, if that makes sense. It's top-down, it's kind of hack and slash, it's ridiculous. I will say, there are some issues, it is clunky, but it's fun, and that's all that matters. This game is ridiculous and just... It's over the top, but that's, I feel like, how some games should be, because it's just fun. They're video games.
Another honorable mention would be Dragon's Crown. It's an Atlas game. It actually got re-released recently on some of the modern stuff. It was like the definitive edition, but Dragon's Crown on PS3 is how I played it. It's the only way I've ever played it. Another great co-op game. It's kind of a side-scrolling beat-em-up with some RPG elements. Not kind of, that's what it is. It's awesome. Great Atlas game. I always thought this game was going to end up being really expensive, and then they re-released that definitive edition. So it's actually pretty reasonable. You get it for like 10 or 12 bucks, pretty easy. And if you haven't picked it up, that's one you should probably check out.
Then the last game in our honorable mentions is a Smash Bros. Clone. Basically, it's PlayStation's Battle Royale or All-Stars, whatever. This game is so awesome because it's Sony characters in a Battle Royale setting and you're fighting each other.
When Robert and I started the channel, he always was yakking about this game. You gotta play this game. It's PlayStation characters, and he plays as like Honey Boo Boo or something in it, the girl character. And I was like, Fat Princess, that's it. And then I started really liking the game.
Every time I play, I got to play as Fat Princess. I don't even know what she's from. I know she's a Sony character. I've never played whatever game she's in, but I play as her every time when I play this game. I don't know why. I just think it's funny, and I love winning as Fat Princess. This game is just, if you like Smash Bros. And you like Sony, this game is a must-play.
But anyway, honorable mentions, PlayStation 3. I just think it's so fun to collect for right now. The fat model obviously is the one everyone wants, that's backwards compatible with everything, but even the slim models, you can find them everywhere for 40 to 50 to 60 bucks, pawn shops, thrift stores, garage sales. People are just saying, get rid of this shit. That time will cease to exist at some point, but right now in 2022, PS3 is so much fun. If you can't get your hands on one of the new consoles, you'd be mighty fine, Porcupine, playing the PlayStation 3.
Let us know in the comments below, what games are you playing on the PS3 in 2022, and what console should we do next in this series? This series is so much fun. We've been playing a ton of games. We're getting down there. We've done a lot of these, but what console do you want to see us do next? Let us know.
We will see you next time, right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Hold that thought. What did you just click on? A Gaming Off the Grid N64 video? Say what? These guys bash on the console all the time.
The good old N64, one of the first consoles I ever got as a kid. This console was so cool when I was younger. I have so much nostalgia for it. Dude, the colors, everything about it is so cool. But in 2022, is it cool?
Contrary to popular belief, today we don't really love the N64, but when we were growing up as little kittens, we little tots, we loved the N64, so the nostalgia on the chart is at an all-time high. The current time though, there are not many games we love to go back to, but we were able to nug out 10 games to be a part of this series in 2022 that when we go back to our N64, we would be picking to fire up.
This is not a top 10. This is not games that revolutionized gaming. This is not the best N64 games. These are 10 games that we're playing. So I'm saying that right now because we will get comments, I guarantee it, that says, why didn't you talk about this?
Can we get it done in 10 minutes or less? I think we can. Let's roll this thing. Let's go N64 hype train. When we fire up the old 64, the 64-bit console from Nintendo, lots of polygons, all that stuff, it doesn't take us too long to put in one of the best co-op 4-player experiences that I've ever played.
Gauntlet Legends, this game is so much fun. It's so simple. It's like kind of stupid simple because it's just top down. You're just shooting and like beating stuff up and getting points and RPG elements kind of.
For us, our preferred version would be on the Dreamcast. But growing up, this was an N64 game. Wasn't an arcade game for us. Didn't play it in the arcades.
I love being an archer in this game because I like being in the back and like shooting people. No matter what console we're playing, no matter where we are, if there's a Gauntlet game, I'm gonna be like, let's freaking play that.
I love this game for people that don't like RPGs or don't really understand how they work because they can dip their toe in the water, which is a lot of fun to expose people to new things.
What's cool about Gauntlet is like you work together, but then at the end of the round, it's like, oh, I got more points than you, so I'm like the winner. It's like one of those like cooperative competitive games, which is really cool.
It'll always be in my heart an N64 game.
This next game is arguably one of the best wrestling games ever made. I'm gonna say it's number 2 compared to All Stars, but this game is really close, and that's WWF No Mercy.
If I could walk through that camera and give your ass a knife edge chop, I would, but I'd probably do it in WWF No Mercy, not in real life. I wouldn't want to get assault charges or something like that, but WWF No Mercy still stands the test of time. A lot of people consider it the best wrestling game ever made.
This is a game I didn't play growing up, and shockingly, I wasn't a fan of wrestling growing up as a kid either. The characters look funny, obviously the graphics are N64 graphics, but it plays great, it feels great, it's so much fun to get 4 people around this console and pick your characters and just wrestle.
No Mercy was the first N64 game that allowed you to go backstage. I remember thinking the folks who were playing the SmackDown games on PS1, I was like, God, dude, they can go backstage. On No Mercy, you could go backstage, and we would do Royal Rumbles, fully loaded, pick the entire roster, and the only way you could get people out was to KO them. And we would just go to the back, and we would just mess around. Mess around, Billy Boy.
This next game was not released in the United States, sadly, because this game is awesome, it looks great, it plays great. In 2022, for the 64, that says a lot, and that's Sin and Punishment.
Do you like rail shooters? Do you like running gun games? Do you like third-person shooters? And for this era, this game actually controls exactly like you think it should control. Sin and Punishment is freaking amazing. It has that arcade feel to it.
This game is so much fun. It is beautiful. The music is really good in this game, and it just plays and feels so perfect. Like, it makes sense when you're using an N64 controller. What's awesome about this game is it's on the Switch N64 app, so people in the United States can finally play it legally.
Arcade, run and gun bliss, rail shooter fans unite with Sin and Punishment.
So as a kid, I loved 007, James Bond, and GoldenEye fit right in there. This game was so awesome when I was a kid.
Perfect Dark is the better game, but it's the nostalgia around playing GoldenEye. And there's a lot of people that don't still play GoldenEye. They have a fond memory of GoldenEye, but they don't play it on the reg.
What sucks is I love this game as a kid, and I feel like I was decent at it. But every time we play it nowadays, I just get my ass crushed. Like, look at this footage right now. I don't even have a gun yet, and I just spawned, I'm dead. I have no chance if I'm playing with Wes.
I really love playing this game multiplayer a couple times a year. I like dragging my friends into the complex because I know the layout of the complex better than I know the layout of my own house. I know where the spawn points are. If you're alive for more than 10 to 15 seconds in that map with me, you're really good at the game.
This game is so much fun, especially multiplayer, and the fact that they're bringing it to the Switch is going to be even cooler. Everyone's going to get that nostalgic bug for James Bond.
Two-dimensional, 2.5D, vertically scrolling shooter, spaceship shooter on the N64. Nah, they didn't make any of those. They didn't make very many of them. There's one they did that's badass, Star Soldier. If you haven't played this game, you really need to.
So there's a couple different ships you can choose from. They have different guns, they have different bombs. This game looks great, the music's really cool in this game too, and it's just so fun. It feels great with the N64 controller, it just makes sense. You gotta make sure you have a stiff stick though. Fellas, you know what I'm talking about? Stiff sticks. Very important.
There are better shooters in the era, for sure. This is not like top of the heap for the, Gen 5 stuff, but it's really freaking good, and it's a lot of fun. It's a game nobody freaking talks about. I don't think anybody really remembers a lot of the two-dimensional stuff on N64, which it actually did really, really well. I think it's a crying shame they didn't do more of it.
I wish they would have made more shooters, like, for the N64, but the ones that they did do, or the one that they did do, is really freaking good. Star Soldier is badass.
If you like spaceship shooters, try this one out and you can thank me later.
The next game is an obvious choice, and before you even get too excited, it's not Super Mario 64. That didn't even make the cut at all. Didn't even make it close. Mario Kart 64 did make the cut. This game is awesome.
People are probably going to be watching this saying, oh, you don't go back and play Mario Kart 64. You're probably playing the new Mario Karts. Well, we do have an arcade bar really close to us called the Up Down. If you're ever in Des Moines, Iowa, you should check it out. And guess what they have on a big screen with a projector all the time? Mario Kart 64. And what's the first thing we do every time we go there? We get a little brouhaha, and we go sit at that table, gather our thoughts, decide what we're going to play, and we play a few rounds of Mario Kart 64. And a lot of times people want to join in and play, and they talk like, oh, I've been playing this game for so long, and guess what? We stomp their ass every time.
If you're good at the game, you're good at the game. There's no rubber banding. There's no helping people like in the new game.
I do like the mechanic of drifting in this. It takes a little more of getting used to, a little more special love on the joystick than the modern games do. So it's kind of a game when you're playing other people of the haves and the have-nots. You either know how to do that or you don't.
This next game is one of my favorite N64 games, hands down. It's so unique, it's so charming. It's a 3D platformer, run around open world-esque type game. Banjo-Kazooie.
My favorite collectathon game on the console. This was an era of a lot of these style of games, you know, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64. There was a lot of these. I'm probably missing one. But I always liked Banjo-Kazooie, and the other ones always felt like a grind to me. Like I got bored really fast. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's that, you know, I like banjos or I like kazooies, but I do like this game. Banjo-Tooie is really good as well.
I love the music. I love the sound effects. I love everything about it. I will say the further you get in the game though, the harder and like more frustrating it gets because it's a 3D platformer and you guys know my feelings on Mario 64. It's frustrating. But it's so much better than Mario 64. This game is so much fun.
It's on the N64 Switch app, which is really cool. I'm glad they got some rare stuff on there. Just a great game.
It's available on the Switch, and I've been playing it. People are going to get mad because I'm not playing it on the original hardware, but I've been playing it on the Xbox. The rare replay disc has Banjo-Kazooie, and it plays and looks great.
Well, you know, we like our tennis games, we like our volleyball games, etc. Just weird sports that we never probably will play in real life. Mario Tennis. This game is actually still incredible to this day.
Dude, Mario Tennis on the N64 is so much freaking fun. Head-to-head is really cool, really fun. The controls are a little bit unique because if you hold the button for like a power shot, your guy can't move. So you gotta get used to that component. But once you get used to it, this game is so awesome. There's a ton of different game modes.
I like the ring challenge. So much fun playing 2-player because it ups the ante. Depending on how many rings are hit during each volley, I don't even know tennis terms, but you win that volley and you collect all those rings. So essentially I could win a volley and get 4 rings, and the next volley we hit more rings and Robert gets 22 the next time, and that's the score, 22-4.
Mario Tennis on the 64 still holds up in 2022, and I would highly recommend it.
Another game on our list isn't best played here, but we play it here because we played it as kids, and it feels just good with an N64 controller to me. NFL Blitz 2001.
This game is so much freaking fun. It's NFL Blitz. Obviously, we've talked about NFL Blitz in other episodes of this mini-series.
I love the layout of the N64 controller for this game. I don't know why. The game looks kind of like dog shit. Not that NFL Blitz needs great graphics to be great, but it plays super well. It's one of those games and you put in and you're trying to get screen cap for an episode such as this. It just doesn't go how you plan it.
This game is so much fun. It keeps it really close. It's arcade sports at its finest.
Another racer. Beautiful racer. Probably the best looking racer on the N64. F-Zero X. Now there's a lot of good racers on the N64, but they don't deliver like you remember them delivering.
Now I will say F-Zero GX is probably my favorite in the series. There's only 3 of them, obviously. Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube. But F-Zero X is badass, and it plays really freaking fast on the 64, because a lot of games on the 64 are slow. This game is super fast. This game is badass. It looks great. The music's really sweet. This game is just, it's F-Zero, man.
Begs the question, Nintendo, why isn't there another F-Zero game? I don't know the answer to that.
Please give us a new F-Zero. Please. What more do I have to say? Pretty please?
F-Zero X is awesome. Not the best in the series, but it's really good, and it's still fun to go back to in 2022.
Guys, that was 10 games we are still playing on the Nintendo 64 in 2022. This list, I thought, honestly, we were going to pick less than 10 games, because when I initially think of the N64, I think, this console, not very good. I love to shit on it because it makes people upset, It's super nostalgic, but nowadays, is it fun? I don't know. It depends on the games. These games are fun, though.
Some honorable mentions. This one's kind of tough because, you know, it's tough to even get to 10 games, in our opinion, on the N64 that are worthy of playing in 2022. But I've already mentioned a couple. I would throw in Perfect Dark for sure. I would throw in WrestleMania 2000 for sure. If you like rail shooters, Pokemon Snap's pretty freaking cool. I mean, for what it is, it does get a little boring after a while.
For me, personally, the Tony Hawk games, I played these a ton. Growing up, these games were so awesome. I'd rather play them on the PS2 nowadays, but growing up, dude, the yellow D-pad, dude, up, grind, it's just so freaking great. NBA Hang Time, it doesn't look the greatest, but it plays freaking great. Then you got the Star Wars games, Pod Racers and Shadows of the Empire. Those are 2 games that I had when I was a kid, and I played them so freaking much. I will say, going back to Pod Racers, kind of sucks. Shadows of the Empire, it's better, but it's still rough. But I have huge nostalgia for it, so like I do like firing it up and playing it for 5 minutes just to scratch that itch and be like, oh, okay, let's move on because it's not that great.
The 007, The World Is Not Enough, I think is the name of it. It's the blue cart. That game is really freaking good. If you liked GoldenEye, it's the sequel in the 007 universe, but it was made by EA as opposed to Rare, so it's kind of a whole different deal. But it plays really good, and the multiplayer maps I felt like were really good at the time. I loved it at the time. And I remember my buddies like complaining about it. Well, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I was like, no, this game's awesome. Really liked that game a lot.
And then the last one is an arcade boat racer, Hydro Thunder. What's cool about this is it's up to 4 players. It's the only home version of the game that includes 4 players. I will say, when you divide the screen into 4 players, the quality gets worse. If you're playing this single player, it looks great. It kind of looks like the arcade. A little bit less, but then you go split screen, looks way worse. Then you go 4 player, looks even worse. Like, it dips hardcore. Still fun, but if I'm doing 4 player on the N64 Hydro Thunder, just take me to the arcade. Just do it because it just looks terrible.
That's the one console. It's amazing how much I loved it as a kid. Best Christmas present I ever freaking got. And it came with the Atomic Purple controller. We did an old ass episode about Christmas stuff, and I think that's what I talked about in that episode. And when I go back to it today, it's just few and far between that this episode was really easy to make. Let's just put it at what it is. The other ones we've done in this series, we had like 30, 40 games that we had to really neck down. This one, we were pushing ourselves to get to 10. That's how I feel about the N64 in 2022. Super nostalgic for it. There still are some games that are bangers that are worthwhile in playing. I just don't understand. I think nostalgia drives the hype more than the content, but nonetheless, I digress. That's not what this video is about.
Guys, let us know what console we should do next. There's not many consoles left. Maybe we do handhelds. Ooh, that's an interesting concept. Maybe, we'll see. Thanks for watching.
Nintendo Wii games we are playing in 2022. The fun part is there's so many games that I didn't play back in the day because I was too cool for the Wii. Back in 2006, college years, and I was like, motion controls, no, this is not for me.
The good old Nintendo Wii. I played this console so much growing up because it came out when I was in junior high school. So I was definitely a kid. I was the target audience for the Wii.
I missed out on a lot of great games. And today we're going to cover 10 amazing Wii games that we play in 2022.
The Wii was so much fun, but then when I got older, I was like, I don't like this anymore because of the motion. I'm an adult. I don't need to move. I don't need Wii Fit. I'm already in shape.
Hopefully you've played most of these, but if you haven't, you might want to give them a look-see, and we're going to try getting it done in 10 minutes or less.
Let's freaking do it. The first game is a very unique game that uses motion as your flashlight. Silent Hill Shattered Memories.
It just creates an atmosphere in the game that is very scary, and that's what you want with a survival horror game. I didn't think I would prefer this version, but I do.
Dude, this game is so awesome, and it's freaky because you feel like you're the guy because you're holding the Wiimote as a flashlight, walking around trying to figure out what's going on.
Sucks that it's a little bit expensive, but we wanted this to be the first game we talked about on the list because we're filming this around Halloween time. So if you want to get your scare on, and you can find a copy of Silent Hill Shattered Memories on the Wii, you'd be doing yourself a favor.
Sin and Punishment Star's successor. This was the first game in the Sin and Punishment series that I played. I did not play the 64 one till later, but this game is amazing.
If you know the Sin and Punishment series, it's an on-rail shooter. You can move side to side, and there's a little extra movement, so one could say, well, it's not 100% on rails, but it's just like an on-rail run and gun type of deal. Beautiful game. The atmosphere is amazing.
Visually looks great. I love the art style. It just plays great. It does get pretty hard the further you get in the game.
This game I've always thought was going to climb quite a bit in price on the Wii, but it's still rather affordable. It's not just a drop in the bucket, but it is a must-play Nintendo Wii game.
Sin and Punishment, highly recommend, and it's awesome because this version we got in North America, unlike the 64 version.
Maybe a little bit of Panzer Dragoon Orta type in here, but still completely different. Very unique in its own right, and awesome game for the Wii.
The game that started it all, and by all I mean this channel and everything that we're doing on this channel, House of the Dead Overkill. This game is badass.
Is it the best House of the Dead game in the series? From a fundamental standpoint, probably not. But it's very unique and it's one of a kind within the House of the Dead series because it's like a grindhouse film. Raunchy, obscure humor that is almost hard to stomach. And if you know us over here at Gaming Off the Grid, we've got a pretty brutal sense of humor. So this game will put you in some bad spots where you're like, ooh, I can't believe they said that on the Wii. The Wii was for kids, right? It was a family console. Now with House of the Dead Overkill.
And Clement is like one of the best bad guys ever. He doesn't come in until halfway towards the game. The ending is like, what is going on? I want to return to the womb. It's nasty, but it's so freaking fun. This is a game we play every year because it started the channel. So we're gonna keep playing it. I think this game is like rated XXX, I think. That's what it says when you start the game anyway.
Grindhouse films, B-grade horror films mixed with a light gun shooter. What more do you want?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to piss. My dick's on fire. I've been on the road for at least 3/4 of an hour with a bladder full of steaming hot piss, slashing left and right with every turn of the road in a way that a bladder full of steaming piss tends to. Do excuse me.
Comment section's probably gonna go crazy, but Wii Sports. Wii Sports. There's a reason this game was expensive during the pandemic. There's a reason this pack-in game still goes for north of $20 today. It's because it's fun.
Now, we're mostly just playing bowling. I know it offers baseball, boxing, some other sport, maybe, I don't know. But bowling is where it's at, and bowling was where it was at when it first came out too.
The game is just a good time. I don't know why Wii Bowling is just the one that has always been the most fun to me. I could take or leave the rest of the mini games in here, but Wii Bowling is still great. I still think it's better than the Switch Sports Bowling that came out.
Wii Sports Bowling is still so much freaking fun, and what's awesome about it is you can fire it up in 2022, and grandma can play it. Young nephews, nieces, daughters, sons can play it. Adults can, anyone can play this game and have a blast. It's just so much fun. And there's different game modes in bowling too, where it just gets more and more pins.
Low barrier of entry. Anybody can have a good time with this, from grandma all the way down to little Timmy. I don't even know how old little Timmy is, but Wii Sports is awesome and I'm sure he would like it.
Another light gun game, another House of the Dead game. What? We got 2 of them? Actually, we got 3 of them because this is a double pack. House of the Dead 2 and 3 Returns.
This one has went up a little bit in price, but for what you're getting here, it's really, really awesome. House of the Dead 2 was released from a home console perspective on the Dreamcast. Plays great on the Dreamcast, but you need a CRT TV, you need a Dreamcast that works, and you need the game. A little bit of a higher barrier of entry. House of the Dead 3 has a home console port that is on the original Xbox. You need a CRT, you need an OG Xbox, you need House of the Dead 3, you need the gun. And then I think you can download House of the Dead 3 on the PS3 as well, but all in one right here on the Nintendo Wii.
They look great, they play great, and what's really cool is when you play through it, you can upgrade and get better guns, so then you can go through and have upgraded weapons, and then you can do like a boss rush, which is really cool, so you can go down and just play the bosses from each game. So it added more than just the straightforward arcade games.
2 is arguably the best in the series, 3 is great as well. 3 total awesome House of the Dead games on this console, 2 in this specific game that we're talking about.
Mario Galaxy 2. This game is awesome. We played a ton of 1, you know, when it first came out, obviously. So I'm really jamming on 2 now in 2022. This game is beautiful. This game is just fun. This is a game you pop in and you're like, oh my God, I've lost the entire night, because you just sit back and you just have fun. It's just a nice, easy game. It's a great game for kids, great games for families, great games for any type of gamer.
They use the motion controls ever so slightly to collect, you know, the jewels or whatever the hell they're called, the star bits, but mostly you're playing with legit controls in this game, and the atmosphere is just gorgeous. This game, still to this day, when you put it in, you're like, wow. This game didn't make it on the Switch 3D All-Stars game, so it's really still kind of just entombed on the Nintendo Wii.
Every time I put this in and I play it, I'm just like, man, this is a perfect Mario game that uses the motion a little bit, but not too much. You can sit back, you can have a few beers, and play some Mario Galaxy 2.
For me, what took this one kind of the next level is the implementation of Yoshi in it. And I don't know if you guys remember when Super Mario World came out and Yoshi was integrated. It just made things a little different and a little more fun. I feel that way about this game.
This next one is a shmup collection. And I remember picking this up at Midwest Gaming Classic when we first started the channel. Ultimate Shooting Collection. This game is awesome.
3 shooters wrapped up into one release. Now these were on various platforms, but you get them all in this collection. You get Chaos Field, pretty expensive GameCube game. You get Kairos, but you get Kairos on the Wii, and then you get Radio Allergy, which I think is like got a little bit of a different name depending on the region it was released in. That's neither here nor there. What is right here in front of us is an awesome collection that not really many people talk about.
Chaos Field is, I think, my favorite of the 3, but they're all 3 are fantastic. This is a great freaking deal if you're a fan of shmups and don't want to get those 3 separate because you'll spend a lot more.
Are these the best 3 shooters that could have came out from like that Sega Naomi type area? Probably not. But the value of having them all in one collection is pretty dang clutch.
This next game is a fantastic party game on the Nintendo Wii. You want to have some friends over, you want to have some beers, you want to have some fun? Wario Smooth Moves.
Just some really quirky, goofy mini games, and you can be good at some of them and then you'll lose at others, and the picking nose hairs and just doing really bizarre stuff.
This game is so much fun if you can get 4 people around and play smooth moves, and it's so much better than Mario Party because I don't like the board game aspect. I like the mini game aspect, and this is mini games.
This game hasn't been replicated since this one came out. They released a version or something kind of like it on the Switch, and it's okay. It doesn't have the charm this one does. This one was just really goofy at the time, and you're like, what am I doing? And it's so much fun. I've never played this with somebody that didn't just have a blast, so I think it's a must-own on the Wii.
Target Terror by Konami. Live action. Ridiculous. Over the top. This is one of those games where it's so bad, it's good.
It's maybe not the best game. It depends on what you're into. If you're a light gun fan, there's a pretty big chance, I think, that you're probably like a B-grade horror fan and you kind of like some shitty action movies and stuff like that. And if that's you, Target Terror is right in your wheelhouse.
The voice acting, the scenes are ridiculous and they're terrible. But man, is this game awesome.
The kills, the way they act, the way they jump out, and it's just a bizarre game. Konami released it. It was in the arcades as well. There's actually a local arcade that has the arcade version, which is very, very cool.
And then the last game on our list is Punch-Out Wii. Wes is a huge fan of Punch-Out. I'm slowly getting there. I've never beat a single Punch-Out game. I'm working on it, so don't crucify me.
I've heard people say this is a remake of Punch-Out. It's not. A lot of similar characters. I do wish they would have done some more with it. But it's a fun standalone Punch-Out game. There's a couple characters that are not in the first, the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and then Super Punch-Out on the SNES.
And a little secret that nobody talks about and nobody knows is if you beat this game, you will unlock Mike Tyson. And he's at the end, so, no, I'm just kidding. I freaking wish. That'd be awesome if they did that. They didn't. I know I got your hopes up, but that would be freaking sweet.
It's definitely the 3rd worst in the franchise, but it's definitely worth playing. I had a great time. I was working on No Death running all 3 Punch-Outs in one stream. I don't think I got this one done. I was damn close. I think I lost on the last guy, but I digress.
This game is still really fun in 2022. If you like Punch-Out, Little Mac, bam.
There you have it. 10 Wii games we love playing in 2022. Of course, there are games that you probably like that you're going to say we missed. We didn't miss anything. We're just not playing them in 2022. These are the games that we, no pun intended, see what I did there? We are playing in 2022. This isn't a top 10. It would be a very different list if this was the top 10 Wii games.
The Wii, I know, has a lot of shovelware, and I know there's a lot of garbage games. You go to thrift stores, pawn shops, garage sales, you find Wii games all the time that suck. But it does offer amazing games that a lot of people don't talk about because a lot of people shit on the Wii because of the motion.
As far as honorable mentions go, there are a couple games that I think are worth noting. The Last Story, it was a recent pickup for me. I found it on the low. It's getting up there in price. It's an RPG, and I remember playing it a little bit when I was in college. So not a game that I've beat, but I did put it in when I picked it up and was like, this is really, really neat. So if I had a little more time in it, it probably would have been on this list, but I just haven't got in there. It's hard to find time for RPGs these days.
I want to talk about Deadly Creatures. This is a very unique game where you play as bugs. And I don't like bugs, spiders, but this is just a great freaking fun game. The story's like really twisted and weird, but this is another like October game that's really freaking fun. Deadly Creatures, highly recommend.
Mario Galaxy 1, I already kind of scratched the surface on it, but that is one worth noting. We do go back to Mario Kart Wii. I think Mario Kart Wii is arguably the best in the series. I probably will take some heat from that. I don't know what it is about that game that I liked, and I hate playing with the steering wheel. No. I play with GameCube controllers on it, but love that freaking game.
Another honorable mention that I want to talk about is Mad World. This is a badass freaking game. It's in black and white, but the blood is red. And I love when games do that. This game is so gory and ridiculous. And what's cool about Mad World is it's like a TV show. And it's like you're just going through and killing people. This game is brutal, but it's just so much fun. So many people think the Wii is for kids, but there are games like Overkill, Mad World, that are just like, these are not for kids. These are for people that can drink beer. So adults.
And then Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's not on the level of the Super Nintendo games, but it's really good and it's really hard. I remember when it came out just thinking how beautiful it was. I still feel that way. I think they did a very good job with that game, and then subsequently Tropical Freeze, which was on the Wii U. They do have a little bit of the spirit of the original games, missing some of the essence, I feel like, without Rare in the mix, but I think it's a worthy play. Those would be my honorable mentions, and then there's tons of light gun games that could be honorable mentions. Ghost Squad, blah, 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 blah. You can go watch that light gun video if you care to.
The Wii is awesome. We love it in 2022. There's only a few consoles left. We'll get to them. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And if you want to support the channel and support us, maybe check out our Patreon. Hate doing it, but we gotta. The good old Xbox One. This is a new console for us. We just recently did an Xbox One buying guide because I think it's a great time to jump into this console because the games are so freaking cheap. Just the perks of being a generation behind are absolutely phenomenal.
Today's episode is a little bit of a hybrid. We've had two different series going on, 10 games we're still playing on respective consoles in 2022. Well, now we're in 2023, so that year's obviously going to change. We've also been showing how you can build an awesome collection on various consoles for $100 or less.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about 10 amazing Xbox One games we're still playing in 2023 in 10 minutes or less, and also all these games, add them up, less than $100.
Some of them were Xbox One exclusives, and now you can play them on, just online and Xbox Series X and all that stuff, but nonetheless, we're going to roll the damn video. Great value here, and this is the most expensive game on our list, but it's still really cheap. It comes in at $17.81, and that is the Halo Master Chief Collection.
6 games for less than $20. That is absolutely insane. You get Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, Halo Reach. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you're a fan of Halo, this is a must buy. If you've never got around to playing the old Halo games, must freaking buy. This value is insane.
Now, this may or may not be of value to you if you've got the 360 games laying around because they're backwards compatible and you can play them that way. But where this game has a ton of value is it's all in one place. And when a console's new to you and you don't want to go to your game room to pull stuff out, you got all the Halos right there. For that price, I think it's an epic deal.
All right, this next game is so freaking unique. I've never played anything like it, but it reminds me a lot of other games that I have played, and that's Sunset Overdrive.
It combines a lot of different types of games that I've played in my life, so I'm gonna try explaining it to you the best way I can with my stupid cat brain. And that is Infamous mixed with Jet Grind Radio mixed with Left 4 Dead.
This game is just very unique and very freaking fun. And it's only $5.64. That's absolutely insane for such a unique game.
A great soundtrack in this. If you're into like punk rock, skate culture, maybe even a little like cyberpunk type of vibe, a lot of grinding.
If you haven't played Sunset Overdrive, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about this game, you should definitely play it. Highly, highly recommend. It is just so freaking fun to pick up and play.
The game has a vibe to me. It's weird. It kind of reminds me of a Sega game. It's not, but it does have just that quirky Sega like style and humor to it.
It's badass.
Another great value here. For $10.90, you can have 31 games. It's really all in one though. It's the Gears Ultimate / Rare Replay Collection.
Obviously, the Gears Ultimate Edition is Gears 1, remastered, HD remake, and all this stuff. Beautiful game. And then you get Rare Replay. 30 games developed by Rare, goes all the way back to the NES, Battletoads, and then all the way through like the 64, and maybe like even past that.
Just a widespread, no 007 GoldenEye, so don't get all flared up about that, but it does have Perfect Dark on here. The value in this is crazy.
You got Banjo-Kazooie, you got Perfect Dark, you got Grabbed by the Ghoulies. That Grabbed by the Ghoulies, fantastic game. It's just awesome to play these old school Rare games on an Xbox One. I've been recently playing through Banjo-Kazooie on this collection, and it just feels great with the Xbox One controller and not the N64 controller.
I think the Rare Replay by itself is like in the $9 range, but for $10.90 you can also get the definitive version of Gears of War, so we figured why not go with this? Don't need to explain really Gears of War. We streamed and beat that on the channel.
This is a fantastic freaking collection that I think everyone that has an Xbox One should have. This next game is a hidden gem, and we don't really use that term a lot here, but I think this game qualifies, and that's Quantum Break. This game is insane. I've never played a game like this before.
Now, if you've played Max Payne 3, some of the developers on that and some of the developers from Alan Wake are a part of Quantum Break. I don't know the exact dichotomy of how that all worked, but this game feels a lot like that. A lot of manipulation of time, so it's not just slowing down bullets. You've got all these extra power-ups and stuff.
What's crazy is it's about like time travel and time distortion, and you got all these like crazy special abilities, and it's like a third-person shooter, but then there's cutscenes that are full episodes.
Real actors, not like digitized. And it's actually pretty freaking good. It's not like, I wouldn't say that it's like a AAA movie release, but it's definitely better than like your CSIs and Chicago PDs that are on network TV. So it's somewhere in between there. But they cuss. They're good actors. There's like a IT guy that Robert and I really like.
When I started playing it, I was like, I've never played anything like this. Blown freaking away. And it reminds me a little bit of like Until Dawn or like these other games where it's kind of storytelling, because in Quantum Break, there's areas where you have to make decisions. And those decisions affect the game and affect the story. So whatever you decide is how the game continues.
Quantum Break, if you haven't played it, I'm getting a little long-winded on it, but it's because I really freaking like the game and it's super cheap. It's like a $7 game. One of the most unique games I've ever played.
This next game is just a really fun zombie game, and I love zombie games. Dead Rising 3. Love the art style of this. It's just simple. You just kill zombies, you find weapons, you craft weapons.
I think most folks have played a Dead Rising game. Dead Rising 3, I don't think I ever played 2. I played 1, got to 3. 3 is pretty freaking cool. Just zombie game, there's hordes coming and you have to survive. Very cheap game, it's like $6.70.
You can pick up almost anything in the environments. You can pick up pallets, cinder blocks, anything you can find just to kill zombies. It's just a fun, simple zombie game.
A little slow at the start. There's a lot of little story stuff at the beginning, so you don't really get to get in there and start ripping and roaring and kicking ass. But once you do, it's a lot of fun.
Another Microsoft staple, we've already mentioned the first one in the series, but here's Gears of War 4. This game is only $6.74. For Gears of War 4, this game is badass. Couch co-op, just Gears, brutality.
This is really done kind of in the style of the first 3 games. It's just a continuation. Gears 4 is amazing. It's still got your couch co-op split screen. I believe it still offers horde mode, and it just looks fantastic.
And I'm so glad that they keep like the couch co-op alive in this current generation, because everything nowadays is online and all this stuff, but Gears of War, they're keeping it how they kept it always. This game is badass.
Love Gears of War 4. 2 is still probably my favorite in the series, but 4 is up there. It's definitely worth a play if you like the Gears games, and at this price, how could you miss out on it?
Now, this game is not Microsoft exclusive like most of the games on this list, but I think it is a must freaking play. This game won like Game of the Year when it came out. This game is huge. You can play this game infinitely because there's so many side missions, so many things you can do. and that's Red Dead Redemption 2.
We did a PS4 video, and I think somebody was like, why didn't you mention Red Dead or something like that? And well, it's because we're saving it for this episode. $16.63 on the Xbox One. Cheapest way to play it, arguably probably the best way to play it. So it's no brainer.
It is just so much fun. I recently just started this. It takes a while to like fully get into it because there's a lot of story. So I will say that, but once you get into the game, you can do anything you can imagine. Pretend Grand Theft Auto, Cowboy, it is phenomenal. You guys obviously know Red Dead Redemption 2. It was a AAA release. Fantastic game.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is fantastic. It takes a lot of what 1 did, but it takes it to the next level. I haven't beat this game yet, but I believe I'm in like chapter 8 right now, and I really, really enjoy it. So you should check out Red Dead Redemption 2 if you haven't. It's a game that was full price for quite a while, but now's the time to scoop in and get it on the DL.
We got another collection on here, and I think this generation is awesome with collections, because if you never got around to playing these games, you can get one disc and it has all these games on it, and that's the BioShock collection.
2K games, 3 BioShocks, you get 1, 2, and Infinite all in one collection. This game's only like $11, and the BioShock games are kick-ass. I still like the first one the best in the series. Infinite, I didn't connect with Infinite quite as well. 2 obviously is a completely different perspective, but they're all good games. I think 1 is the great game of the bunch.
If you never got around to playing the BioShock games, it's a great way to jump into it, or if you only played 2, or if you only played Infinite. This is just a great collection to have because the BioShock games are so badass and they're so unique. Like, I've never played a game it's just very weird, and like every game is different than like the prior game. It's an awesome collection.
Gears 5. Love this game. You play as Kate Diaz or whatever her tits.
Do you like hot fudge sundaes?
Again, we already talked about Gears 1, Gears 4, but Gears 5 is just a continuation of the Gears series. Couch co-op, badassery. I don't know what else to say. I just know that this game is badass. It is super freaking fun, and it's only $8.
I think people are kind of feeling like Gears has gotten a little formulaic. There is a little bit of a different narrative, I feel like, in this game comparatively to the other 4, but you still get that split screen co-op. We already talked about Gears 4 in this episode, so I don't want to beat up the Gears stuff, but if you're a Gears of War fan, they did drop the of War on this game. It's just Gears.
Check it out if you haven't, because why wouldn't you? $8. Gears of War, couch co-op, chainsaw. Do it.
Halo 5 Guardians. Now, this one might be a little controversial because I think this game didn't land very well with Halo fans, but I don't think it's all that bad of a game. Now, I do understand that there's no split screen on it. Is that a pain in the ass? Yes, it is. I also understand there's no co-op campaign. Is that a pain in the ass? Yes, it is. But for $6.73, if you're a Halo fan, I think you got to play Halo 5.
Less than $7 for Halo 5. Halo is such a phenomenal series. It's like Microsoft's freaking bread and butter. And Halo 5 is just a beautiful freaking game. If you never got around to playing Halo 5, now is a perfect chance. Less than $7 for a Halo game.
Overall, the game is pretty freaking good. Is it on the level of like a Halo 3? No, I don't believe it is, but I think it's still pretty cool, and it's definitely worth owning, and it's a game that I made sure to have in my Xbox One collection.
That's 10 games for less than $100 in under 10 minutes or less. And technically, those 10 games is 47 games. So beat that. 47 games for less than $100. That is the most value for your buck. The Rare Replay, the Halo Master Chief Collection, BioShock Collection. Highly recommend collections if you never got around to playing these games. It is just, now is a great time to collect for the Xbox One.
And I know a lot of these games, if you do have Game Pass, you might not need all of these, right? And you might not even need an Xbox One to play these games. That's just what we have. If you have a Series X, donuts make you go nuts. Go out and get some of these games. If you just want to play them on PC, you can do that as well. I don't give a shit how people play their games, but these are just awesome games. The way we play them is on Xbox One. That's our newest console. We feel like we have a new console, even though it's a generation behind. And they're epic games. And I can't believe the prices of some of these. It's mind-blowing that they feel so fresh and new. I look at like Sunset Overdrive. It feels like nothing I've ever played before. And it's that cheap. So I think it's a great time to get down on the Xbox One. These are the games we are playing on the console, our newest console, and we feel pretty dang good about it. We appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid. Tough guy.
Tough guy.
One of our best miniseries is these 10 games you're playing on select console in select year. This started back in 2022, well now it's 2023, and now we're still playing 10 games on select consoles. Today is the Nintendo Wii U.
One thing that tends to notch on my badge doing this YouTube thing is when we get comments that say there are no games on the Wii U, they've all been ported to the Switch. Well, I don't agree with that comment anytime that we get it, and today we're going to talk about 10 games we still play on the Wii U in 2023. There are more than these games that we still love to play on the console, but these are the ones we are going at right now.
Some of these are exclusive, some of them you can play on the Switch, some of them are third party. We play on the Wii U, and that's all that matters, so let's freaking get into it.
The NES Remix Pack 1 and 2, the only way to play this version of the game is on the Wii U. There was an Ultimate NES Remix released on the 3DS, but it's not the same selection of games.
This would be a great game for families, for kids, for Nintendo fans. This is just a great nostalgia game.
I absolutely adore this game. The NES was the first console I ever played, but this is a different twist on these games. They're more challenge-based. They're more like little speed runs, or can you hit these 3 Goombas in this amount of time, or get this coin arc, you know. In all these different games, it's just a genius way to play or revisit these games and breathe new life into them.
This game is hard, but really freaking fun. There are some games, though, that I do not like playing, like Wario's Woods. That game sucks.
I love working on this with a friend. Getting through each challenge is not that tough, but getting through it with like the 3 stars and getting rainbow, you gotta freaking work at it.
It is so much fun.
Third party game, Splinter Cell, Blacklist. This game is awesome. Any way you can play it, I would recommend playing it if you're a fan of the Splinter Cell series, but I think this game is best played on the Wii U because of the tablet integration. You're going to hear that a lot in this video, by the way.
You can switch your guns, switch your freaking projectiles, your grenades, night vision on and off. There's sometimes the map on the thing. It is just so much fun. I love games that integrate the tablet in that use. There's a lot of games that do that. We've talked about that before, but this game is badass.
This game looks great. It plays great. Sam Fisher, such a badass. And this game has a way of, yes, it's a stealth game, and I think some people get scared away like, oh, they're boring. There's something about the pacing of this game and the way they use the music score in the game that really keeps the adrenaline going, and you're just like, holy cow, you're really scared to be seen.
You just feel so freaking cool when you do sneak kills or you snipe people. I could play this game 4 hours, and I have been playing this game 4 hours in 2023. Splinter Cell Blacklist, highly recommend.
Hyrule Warriors, Zelda fans, this is your chance to play a Dynasty Warriors type of game with Zelda characters. Pretty freaking awesome. And you might be sitting there thinking, well, this was ported to the Switch. Why would I want it on the Wii U? If you're not going to play it co-op, I'd probably go for the Switch version, but the co-op Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U is the way to do it.
Each player can have their own screen. Yes, that's why I love the Wii U, so someone can be on the TV, someone can be on the tablet. It doesn't matter if you're right next to each other, you can see what you're doing. I love when games offer 2-player, 2 different screens. You can have your own screen. There's a couple other games we're going to talk about later that offer the same thing. It is just so much fun, and I think it's the best way to play this game.
Again, if you're just playing single player, probably doesn't matter what console you played on. Probably would be better to have on the Switch, but if you're going to go at it co-op, this is the way to play Hyrule Warriors. We love it on the Wii U.
One of my favorite indie games ever released. This soundtrack is amazing. I listen to it all the time, even when I'm not even gaming. I just like this music, like the soundtrack so much, and that's Axiom Verge.
If you've been around the channel for a while, you're probably like, holy cow, they're talking about this game again. We have to. One of the best indie games, in my opinion, ever made.
God, this game is freaking beautiful. If you're a fan of the Metroidvania style games, if you're a fan of 8-bit style games, if you're a fan of indie games, Axiom Verge, highly recommend.
This game is on several consoles. It plays great on all. I've played it on PS4 and on the Wii U. The Wii U version, though, is the optimum way. I'm so surprised that these indie developers, or this indie developer, took the time to integrate the tablet the way they did. The game, if you play it on other consoles, you have to pause it to get into your menu and switch weapons and all that type of stuff. It's so easy when the map is in front of you and you can see where you've been and all that stuff right in your hands.
If a game is offered on the Wii U and it has tablet integration, I'm going to prefer that version over all the other versions just because I like having that. Just so you don't have to pause the game. It's just super easy. Axiom Verge, if you haven't played it, what are you doing?
Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Holy smokes, there's so many people that take Call of Duty so serious and they're probably like, I would never play that on the Wii U. I want to play it on the 360 or whatever. I would agree if you're doing the online stuff and those type of things. We play it for zombies on the Wii U.
If you've been around for a while, you know we love zombies. We're addicted to it. And on the Wii U, like I said earlier, 2-player, 2 screens. It is so much fun. What sucks about this version is there's only 3 maps available, and all of them, I believe, have lava in them. So it's kind of a unique zombie experience because the zombies can catch on fire. You can catch on fire, so you gotta like play differently.
It's just so much fun. A lot of these are kind of the pivot point is what does it offer co-op, because that's how we game a lot. Obviously, we're a 2-man channel. But Black Ops 2 on the Wii U is actually really freaking good.
This next game is so cute. It's such a good family game. I know it's on the Switch, but Super Mario 3D World.
One of the best 3D Marios in my humble opinion. Love this game. Love it on the Wii U. Never have played it on the Switch. I know they have the Bowser's Fury piece that got added. But it all depends on you reading your own mail on what console you want to play it on. But again, I feel like this game was optimized to be played on the Wii U with the tablet integration. It's not an overabundance of tablet integration, but there are some levels that really require it.
I loved all the collectabilities, the stamps, the stars, all the stuff within the levels that you can hunt for while you're trying to beat the level. This game is also multiplayer. This game offers, I think, up to 5-player, 4 players, whatever. It's just so much fun.
This game feels like a Wii U game. That's where we play it. That's where we have beat it. That's where we're always going to play it. It's awesome on Wii U.
This next game is another cute family game, Nintendo game, Yoshi Woolly World. I love the textures of this game, like the wool. Like, this game is beautiful. It's co-op. If you have young kids, if you have a family and you haven't played Yoshi's Woolly World, it is just such a joy to play.
The graphics in this are just mind-blowing. It just looks so good. It kind of reminds me, the textures and stuff. There's been a few times in my life I've been blown away by that in a game like, Donkey Kong Country, and that came out on Super Nintendo. But this game is just a true joy. Not a very tough game. And Yoshi makes some really annoying sounds. I think anybody that's played Yoshi games knows what I'm talking about. That type of thing.
I love Yoshi, and I know he makes annoying sounds, but he's one of my favorite characters. So anytime there's a Yoshi game, I'm going to play it. And Yoshi Woolly World is an absolute treat.
Another console exclusive. Holy cow, a lot of console exclusives here, and there's not many games on the Wii U. Remember? That's what we hear in the comments anyway. Game & Wario. This is an amazing, quirky party game with amazing tablet integration, drawing pictures, and all sorts of good stuff. This game is so much fun. It's very unique.
It is just so much fun. If you ever played any of the Wario games, like on the Wii, Smooth Moves and stuff like that, the mini games are weird. It's Wario. They're weird, but they're so much fun, and there's so much cool tablet integration in these mini games.
Some people don't like it. I don't know how you wouldn't like it. You got to give it a chance and really get in there. The game has gotten kind of expensive, which is another reason it sucks that the eShop is closing down relatively soon.
Find a way to play this game. It is so much fun.
Another console exclusive. Holy cow. Here's the drawback on this one. It never got a physical release. Indie game, affordable space adventure. Very unique. Best to be played as a 3-player co-op game.
You only have a month or two before the eShop closes, and then this game is gone forever, sadly, which sucks because this is one of the most unique 3-player co-op experiences I've ever played. We have to thank Dads and Lads for showing this game years ago. It is so much freaking fun. The tablet is so important, so I don't think this game will ever be ported because the tablet is how you control your ships and your thrusters and all this stuff.
You go on a space vacation, right? Rich people can afford to go to outer space, or that's kind of the narrative, but this is now affordable to the layperson. And you get there and they really put you in a shitty spot. Bad ship, and you don't know if you're going to get out of the scenario.
You have to work together in harmony to solve puzzles and escape, and like if you're a fan of it's way different, but if you're a fan of Portal 2 and the co-op puzzle aspect, this is kind of similar, but add a third person.
Very, very unique game. It sucks the eShop's going down. Hopefully people have this game ripped and you can, emulate it or something at some point, because there's no other way to play it. And it's not going to be readily available. That's the worst part about things going online is games like this could potentially get lost in the shuffle to your average gamer. But you got to check out Affordable Space Adventure on the Wii U.
The last game on our list is actually 2 games. It's a 2 for Sutherland. The Zelda HD remakes.
Zelda, Twilight Princess HD, and we figured we'd just talk about Wind Waker HD because everything we're going to say pretty much applies the same.
If you're a fan of Zelda, if you're a fan of these 2 games, HDMI, the games look beautiful, the games play beautiful, there's awesome tablet integration where you can switch your items, use your map. These games are beautiful. They still play great on the original consoles they came out on, but on the Wii U, this is how I love to play them. And Twilight Princess is so good. Wind Waker's good too, but Twilight Princess is really good.
And as of the filming of this episode, these are still console exclusive on the Wii U. I don't think it's going to remain that way. I do think they will be ported at some point, whether it's the Switch or the next Nintendo console or whatever. But this is part of why I've always said I think the Wii U is the ultimate Zelda console. You know, you had Breath of the Wild, you had these, and then when the eShop was active, you had all the retro stuff you could get, and then the Hyrule Warriors. It's just, there was so much offered on the Wii U as far as Zelda goes. But these two, if there were no other games on this list that motivated you to still have a Wii U, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD, at the very least, they're just must-play games. They're awesome, especially if you like Zelda.
That was 10 games. 11 games, technically.
Actually, that's 12 games on the Wii U in 10 minutes or less that we still play in 2023.
There's a ton of other games that are obviously on the Wii U that we like playing, but these are the games that we're playing right now in 2023 that we cannot get enough of. Let us know in the comments below, what games are you playing on the Wii U in 2023? We'd love to hear about it.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe to the channel. If you like this series, make sure you give the video a thumbs up and all that good YouTube jargon. We're done here, but we do really appreciate you watching. And you know what? Cheers to the freaking Wii U. Over the years, there has not been a ton of PlayStation 1 content on Gaming Off the Grid. Doesn't mean we don't love the console. Doesn't mean we don't love the generation, but Gen 5 is one of those generations in my mind, I liked it a lot more as a kid. Going back to some of the stuff is a little rough sometimes.
The good old PlayStation 1. One of the first consoles I ever played growing up, but then the PS2 came out, and I never really looked back because the PS2 was the bomb. But in 2023, we are occasionally firing up a PS1, and there are some good games that I still play in 2023.
I think we got some good picks here, so saddle up. 10 games we still play on the PlayStation 1 in 2023. Let's go.
The first game on our list is arguably one of the best PS1 games, and it's arguably one of the best games in the whole franchise. And that's Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
A gorgeous game. This game will forever stand the test of time. It will forever look amazing because it's just a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania game. Didn't get into that weird, clunky 3D polygon space. I don't know anybody that's played Symphony of the Night and doesn't love it.
This game is beautiful. The music's amazing. The way it looks, it holds up. And I know people hate when I say that, but this generation doesn't hold up as well as other generations because of the 3D aspect. This game is beautiful. I love, like, when you're dashing, like, there's like a shadow effect. I don't even know what it's called, but it looks beautiful. It plays great.
I don't know what we can say about it that probably hasn't already been said 150,000 times or more on YouTube, but it's an amazing game.
I just freaking love it. I will always be playing this game, no matter what year it is.
Man, I wish Konami would go back and make another Castlevania like this. They probably won't.
This next game is so stupid, it's so ridiculous, it's so simple, and I had never heard of it till this year, and that's Loaded on the PS1. It's like a top-down run-and-gun co-op, just blow shit up. Everything is just over the top. There's blood going everywhere.
Co-op is where this really thrives. Top-down, kind of looking and opening up different rooms. It's pretty gory. It's not a lot of depth to it. You just run around and just destroy stuff, but every character's substantially different with the weapons that they have, which adds some replayability to the game.
It doesn't look the greatest, but that doesn't matter because you're just going around blowing things up, and it's just, if you want to play something that's stupid but fun, Loaded fits that.
Kind of reminds me a little bit if like you were playing co-op Smash TV, something like that. Not as good as Smash TV, but it is fun, and it's a joy to play co-op. We've been jamming on this game. Love it.
And it doesn't matter that it's stupid because it's just fun. And games are supposed to be fun, so.
A lot of really good shooters on the PlayStation 1. Gaia Seed. I don't own this game physically. It might have been a Japanese only release. I think it maybe was, but we have it on the PS3 store, but it's a PS1 game.
This game is beautiful. This game is so much freaking fun. This game does get kind of tricky though because it throws you right in and it is hard as heck, and then the backgrounds make it so you don't know if you're looking at bullets or it's background textures.
Awesome shield system, which you definitely need in this game because it is hard as sin, but beautiful game. I haven't played all the shooters on the PS1, but this is one we have been going crazy on. We downloaded way back when the PS3 was getting ready to potentially close the store. We downloaded all these shooters, and this game is fire.
If you like shooters or shmups and you haven't played Gaia Seed, highly recommend, or at least give it a try. It is just a blast to play.
Not getting out of a PlayStation 1 episode around here without talking about some light gun games. Time Crisis 1. There's multiple Time Crisis games. A lot of good light gun games in the PlayStation 1, but just Time Crisis. It's the OG. It's the tried and true. Not an arcade perfect port, but it's pretty dang good on the PS1.
When we fire up the PS1, we are going to be busting out the GunCon one and be playing some Time Crisis. It is your typical freaking Time Crisis light gun action. If you played Time Crisis, you know. It is just so much fun.
Honestly, the majority of the time we fire up our PS1, there's going to be a light gun game being played. So Time Crisis absolutely had to make our list.
This next game is also arguably one of the best PS1 games, and you could argue it's also one of the best in the series too. And that's the OG Metal Gear Solid.
If you played it back in the day, I think you know how groundbreaking the game was. It's just amazing. The cinematics, the cutscenes, just an amazing freaking time. And this game, when you go back to it in 2023, yes, it takes a little bit. It's like, the graphics aren't as good. His face looks like a punched in ball of clay. But once you get past that, it still is a true joy. Just a gem to play.
Metal Gear Solid it's just a staple of the PlayStation library.
It's timeless. It is so good. Would be awesome to see a full remake of this game, but for the meantime, the PlayStation 1 version, one of the best PlayStation 1 games ever made, and I still play it all the time.
We got another shmup on our list, Einhander. Einhander?
Bueller.
Don't know if I'm saying that one right either, but this game is beautiful. I just love shmups.
Einhander is freaking phenomenal. It has gotten up there in price a little bit. We just play it on our PS1 Classic, modded, whatever. Don't tell anybody. But this game is fabulous. Awesome shooter. If I can get it physically, I will.
Einhander is awesome. The music's great. I don't know what else to say. It's just a shmup that's done right on the PS1. It looks great. And this is like one of those that will hold up over time. So, Einhander, badass.
A lot of good shooters on the PS1, but Einhander has to be up there among some of the best.
We got another light gun game on our list, but this one is a unique light gun game. This one is, I've never played anything like this that's a light gun game, and that's Elemental Gearbolt. We did a PS1 light gun buying guide that we kind of dove deep into the game, so if you want to check that out, it'll be like right there. But Elemental Gearbolt is so unique, it's so badass. It kind of has like a slow pace to it.
The packaging for this game, for one, the case and everything is just unbelievable. It's one of the most expensive games I have in my collection. Very unique. A lot of light gun games don't have a lot of depth. You're just shooting shit on the screen, right? And that's where the difficulty comes in. But in this game, there's RPG elements involved, which is very, very unique. I can't think of another light gun game that offers what Elemental Gearbolt does.
It's really weird, really unique, but it's a light gun game. Elemental Gearbolt, one of the most expensive games on our list.
It is a new game to me. First time I played it, I think, was in 2021 or 2022, and was freaking mind blown. We were doing some research for, some light gun game to play on PS1, and this game just rose to the top of our list that we were looking for, and I got it. Got a decent deal on it, but I did pay a little bit. But it's a fantastic freaking game if you can find a way to play it. Elemental Gearbolt, amazing light gun game on the PlayStation 1.
This next game you can play everywhere, anywhere, arcade, whatever console, NFL Blitz, arcade sports.
I play this game at work with my coworkers, like on Fridays after everybody's going home, we get in games of NFL Blitz on the PS1. I played in the game room with Robert, NFL Blitz on the PlayStation 1. It's on N64, it's on Dreamcast, it's in the arcades. I don't know if it's the best way to play it on the PS1, but I just like playing this game on the PS1.
This game is just NFL Blitz. If you like arcade sports, you know what I'm talking about. Straightforward, there's rubber banding, it keeps it close no matter if you're good or bad. It's NFL Blitz. It's awesome.
Holy cow, third spaceship shooter on this list, and for me, this is my favorite one on the console. I don't think it's fundamentally the best one on the console, but I just love this series, top to bottom. R-Type Delta.
This game is so cool, and I love the R-Type games because there's like a pacing to them. Like, they feel slow, but they're not. And then you're like, well, if it feels slow, is it easy? It is not easy. This game is hard. This game will kick your freaking ass. You have to learn, like when a boss comes in, oh, I go down and around. It is tough. There's different power-ups. The music's great.
The cutscenes in between levels kind of arc around like a little bit of a 3D space, but this is still kind of traditional R-Type side-scrolling. Amazing boss fights. that are going to take you time and time and time and time again to figure out how to beat them. You got to learn the patterns. You got to live the patterns. R-Type Delta is freaking amazing on the PlayStation 1.
The last game on our list is Strider 2. And it's kind of a two for Sutherland. You get 2 games in one. When you get this game, CIB, it comes with 2 discs. Strider 2 and the first Strider.
It's a 2.5D take on Strider. It's one of those PlayStation 1 games that will always look good, I feel like. It just looks great. Most of the game is two-dimensional, but like when you kind of are in between things, you kind of get a rounding effect and things like that. So it's 2.5D.
This is a late release, so it looks freaking great. It pushes the PS1 to its limits. It adds climbing abilities. It kind of like, if you ever played Ninja Gaiden, you know, like the wall climbing and stuff like that, it's kind of similar to that. Strider 2 is amazing, and if you get it, you get Strider 1.
Strider 2 is only 1 player. But the first Strider is 2-player, and it's turn-based. You just take turns and whatever. But an awesome value, an amazing game. It's a lot easier, I feel like, than the original Strider. Maybe that's why I like it. I don't know.
We have ours on the PS3 store, so if you want to go that route, it's probably a lot cheaper.
On the PS3 download, though, it is worth noting, when you launch the game, it launches on the original Strider. Not super intuitive of how to get to Strider 2, so you have to hit the PlayStation home button on the controller, and then you have to hit reset game, and then it lets you select disc 2. There's an option where it says like disc 1, you can't do anything. It's like grayed out. You have to reset the game, move to disc 2. Took us a while to figure that out, so we figured we'd pass the info along, but that's neither here nor there. Strider 2, any way you can play it. We don't have the physical copy. We just played on our PS3.
If you haven't played Strider 2, it is phenomenal. If you played the first one or in the arcade, you'll feel right at home just a little bit more. It looks great. Highly, highly recommend Strider 2.
Didn't make our list, but a couple honorable mentions because these are 2 of my favorite PlayStation 1 games of all time. I'm just not currently playing them, but I just wanted to bring up Driver 2 because it was just mind-blowing to me when it came out. It became less mind-blowing going back after the GTA 3, Vice City, so on and so forth came out. But gosh, when you could get out of your car in Driver 2, that was such a big freaking deal. And other than Elemental Gearbolt, which has RPG elements, we didn't have any RPGs on our list. And that might offend some people, but that's not what we're playing. We don't have time to play RPGs currently. We have a freaking YouTube channel and an eBay store and full-time jobs. So currently we're not playing a lot of RPGs, but PS1 is so full of amazing RPGs, and my favorite happens to be Parasite Eve. So I didn't want to get out of a PS1 episode and not talk about my love for that game. Horror Elements are an awesome RPG game. My favorite on the console. I'm sure there's tons of people who have games that are RPGs that they like more than Parasite Eve, but for me, that game just always resonated with me.
I have an honorable mention that I want to add. I grew up playing this game a ton, but I don't really play it as much anymore, and it does look terrible nowadays, and that's Jedi Power Battles. This was great back in the day. Co-op, especially if you were a Star Wars fan. It's kind of rough going back to, but it's still fun if you never played it and you like Star Wars.
That's what we're doing on the PlayStation 1, and there was a couple honorable mentions there. In the comment section below, do you ever fire up your PlayStation 1? How do you play the games? What games are you playing in 2023? We would love to hear it. We appreciate you tuning in, subscribing to the channel. PlayStation 1 love and hype alive and well in 2023. We'll see you next time right here on the one and only Gaming Off the Grid.